Mike, you're on the air in Greenville, South Carolina.
Hey, Howard, how are y'all doing this morning?
I know.
Hey, I love all you guys. And Fred, please do some more Benji and Scott DePace impressions. They just crack me up down here in the South. It's got that good Southern drawl. just wanted to get your thoughts on the Super Bowl and Artie's thoughts also, since he's a big football
I'm not even
fan.
going to watch the Super Bowl. I've already decided.
Really?
You don't care?
I don't care, and it's like I haven't watched football all season, and I'm way into chess, so I'd rather play a game of chess if I have some free time.
You can't play chess and watch the football game.
no
You don't
way.
multitask like that?
I don't even let Beth in the room when I'm playing chess. It annoys
Really?
me, yeah, because I say, Beth, I can't concentrate when you're in the room. I got to have complete silence. I'm not that good. I got to really think. And there's a clock running when you play. You know, you only have a certain amount of time.
I know you want to play chess, but you can't play chess all day and then at 6:22 watch. the
We'll
Super Bowl?
see. We'll see. Maybe I will watch.
Especially since your wife is so invested in it, you know, because she's such a
Yeah.
Pittsburgh fan.
She's invested in me.
If you told her you didn't want to watch Super Bowl, would she not watch it?
No, she'd watch it on her own.
It is. It's on so late, though.
That's the problem with the game.
I'm having a
It's
Super Bowl
ridiculous.
party, and I told everybody they have to leave after Bruce performs. I'm serious.
Yeah, well, then why
That's
would I
what
go?
it is with us.
But why would I go to your Super Bowl party
Well,
if I
'cause
have to
you're-
leave in the middle of the game?
Yeah, because it's just my neighbors that live across the street.
Oh, okay.
Like I didn't invite anybody from far
Yeah,
away. but
Artie, Gary's got the home theater experience now, so he's like
His
now
man
inviting
cave,
everyone
yeah.
over.
yeah, like every minute.
Yeah.
I saw your man cave.
No, I got a theater.
How many seats are in the theater?
8 seats and 3 stools.
You got to sit on a stool for the Super Bowl?
No, you can do whatever you want.
There's a stool in the theater? Never heard of that.
It's 2 rows.
Yeah.
You know, it goes up, and then the back row there's like a bar, like a piece of granite, and there's stools. They're very comfortable stools. I
Why
sat
is there
in
a
them.
bar in a home theater?
It's not a bar. It's like a
A ledge?
yeah, like a
Why
piece.
don't you put a couch or something on the back?
Because I built the one I wanted, not the one you want.
No, but isn't it more comfortable? Don't get
There's-
defensive.
no,
but
I'm saying there's
the
8
whole-
seats.
Wait a
That's what
second.
I wanted.
The whole excitement of a home theater is that you're in a comfortable chair.
Right, but you can also sit back there and you can have drinks and you can eat, and you know that's the experience that I wanted.
Wow, that's a fucked up experience, dude. Well,
because it's not yours.
No, it's
How
not
could
a
it be any
theater.
good?
It's
So
not
wait
a
a minute.
theater.
You
Yeah,
have a
of course it's
theater?
a fucking theater.
You want to eat? Go in your kitchen.
Right,
And
that's
the-
what you would do because you, God
Or
forbid,
eat in
anybody
the chair.
spill a crumb.
Or like, no, eat in the chair in a nice,
Howard,
comfortable
Howard,
couch.
Howard.
Howard,
Dumb.
exactly.
It's goddamn stupid.
Why do you care what's in his
Exactly.
Stupid.
No, because
Oh,
it's not what
stop
you
it.
think.
It's stupid.
Exactly.
Listen to
it
this, Artie. He put a fucking slab of granite. This is so Baba Booey. He put stools and a slab of granite in his theater.
Yeah, it's unheard of.
Yeah,
You'll
it
never
is.
find another one like it.
Because no one would do that.
Of course
Even the
the
fucking
people would
theater
do
guy
it.
probably was like, look at this asshole.
Actually,
I
theater guy
went-
thought it was a good idea.
Yeah.
I
Sure.
went to a movie theater where there
Yeah.
were stools and high chairs like in a bar.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
good.
Left.
I wouldn't
They
go
serve,
there.
they serve food.
Well, then
If I had
fuck
to
you,
sit-
you're not invited.
If I had to sit in a stool, I wouldn't sit there.
well, then you'd
Who
have
chooses
to sit
to
at one
sit
of the
for
tables.
hours on a stool in a movie
First of
theater?
all, it's incredibly comfortable. The stools, they're
Yeah.
not
Is there a
they're
back on 'em?
High back leather
Yeah.
chairs. I sat in them for the other week, and they're very comfortable.
You sat instead of sitting in the comfortable chair. You
well,
sat
because
in
I had
the
a bunch
stool.
of people over. This is the whole thing. This is another one of
So you couldn't even get the good chair.
My wife is like, well, we invited people over. I'm like, fuck them. Let them sit in
Now
the
listen,
stool.
I'll tell you why I'm right and he's
All
wrong.
right, now you are right.
Yeah,
But it was
I'm
fine.
so
Gary
agree with
goes,
you then.
shit, I want to sit in my comfortable chair. And his wife goes, no, and rightly so. She goes, well, our guests should get the comfortable chair. You sit in the shitty chair.
Right.
But-
Why should there be a shitty chair in
But
the
you didn't
fucking
ask the,
theater?
Now
the end of the
you're
story.
making
You didn't ask the end of the
What's the
story.
end of the story?
It turned out it was very comfortable.
Yeah. Yeah,
But you
why?
weren't sure.
Now I know.
Yeah. All right, so from now on, in your theater, even
Yeah.
when it's empty, I want you to sit in the stool.
Do you think people in the audience are annoyed that we're comparing our home theaters?
No,
and
I'm not
complaining?
comparing any home. I'm saying you put in a home theater, and you put in stools. That's stupid.
But if I
gotta
only
say,
put in stools-
At first, I didn't think it was that bad, but I would be bummed if I had the stool.
Well, of course.
Absolutely.
But
Now
especially for
that
Super Bowl?
Howard says that he doesn't want to sit in
But
the
you guys,
stool.
here's the
he
guys.
put it in his
You're missing
theater.
the point. You're all missing. Here's the point.
I guarantee you he rips out those stools
No,
and
you-
puts in a couch.
Here's the point.
Imagine a nice,
It's
comfy.
you
know
wanna
when we
just
go-
fucking talk?
You know when we go to screening rooms?
yeah.
We were fortunate enough a couple of times to be asked by movie studios to see a movie ahead of time because they wanted us to, they were a sponsor or whatever.
That Sony one where we saw the first Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Amazing.
So you go over to Sony, or even better, it was Paramount had one. We'd go in the building, and then you'd have these incredibly comfortable leather couches
Yes, it
and
was
chairs.
great.
And you'd have
That's what I
phones
have.
by 'em.
Unbelievably comfortable leather chairs. Unbelievably comfortable.
Yeah.
But you can't sit in them.
That go
can't
all the
sit-
way
you have
back.
company.
Of course
what?
I could sit in
Your
it.
You
neighbors
have
sit in
company,
them.
you can't.
It's, dude,
On
it's
Super Bowl,
rare.
where are you going to be sitting?
It's rare.
You're going to be in a
He's
stool.
gonna
Everybody's going to be
stool.
moving around, actually.
Okay.
Everybody's
We'll
going
see.
to be moving around.
I wouldn't.
But I
I'd grab
also-
my good chair.
I
But
also
nobody's
don't
gonna-
understand why you have a man cave. That's where you're supposed to watch Super Bowl. No, you're watching it in the theater.
Yeah, that would be dumb to watch it on a 130-inch screen, Robin. I agree.
No, I think it's great, but I just think the chair thing is
Wait,
dumb.
everybody's got a fucking opinion.
Man
I'd
cave
watch
is
it in
where
the
you,
theater.
you play pool
It's
and
gonna-
you watch the
Robin,
game
Wait,
and
I mean,
you watch
I don't-
It's going to
listen,
be on in
I'm-
every room.
I'm
Go
just
watch it
telling
wherever the
you.
fuck you want, except for you. Don't come to my fucking house.
Gary, I'm just saying. I guarantee that in the future, you rip that out.
You're
and put
wrong.
a couch in.
You're wrong. We
Okay.
love it. We've been there. We love it. We put some food up there. People go back and
Well,
have
then
food.
you sit in that. You sit at that little marble.
I haven't.
table.
It's not, and it's fine.
But I don't want you sitting in the comfortable chairs
Ever.
anymore.
I could do it. If,
No.
Because
From now
you
on, you
put
sit in the
stools
stool.
in.
it's a rarity that it's full.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
All right. So you're sitting in the stools for Super Bowl.
I don't know where. I'm throwing a party, so I'll be moving all around. I'll
How
be in the
many
man
chairs
cave.
are there?
8.
8. Okay.
There's 8 chairs, but he could have 12 chairs.
Yeah.
Instead, he put in.
I don't know that I actually
a
don't-
fucking place for him to eat.
I actually don't know that we could have
You know
fit.
what? I'm
You
looking
can't
at you.
eat in a
Again, you
chair?
can, nobody
don't-
listen.
you
I don't know that
don't-
we
you
could
don't
have
need to
fit it
eat
all the
that
way
much.
back
Another place
there.
to eat is not necessary.
Yeah. I mean, how many places does he need to feed?
Well, it's not all about me, believe it or not. Sometimes you want to entertain
Well,
people.
Judging by the size of you, it's about you. Food is getting very important in your life. All right. Hey, Matt. Hey, what's happening in Philadelphia?
Yo, Howard.
Hey, Matt.
Did you miss a couple of your therapy sessions, or
No, I was
have you
in
not been
therapy.
meditating lately?
I was in therapy
Why?
yesterday, and I meditated this morning.
But why is he asking?
All over Gary. There's nothing wrong with Gary's setup.
Yeah,
Give him a
it's just.
break. I'm all about. I love when you rip on Gary, but man, you're like violently angry at him. For
I'm
his,
not angry. It's just he always does things wrong.
Well, when Howard explained, said that, I was on your side. But then when Gary said he was upset in his own home because he couldn't sit in one of the comfortable seats, I was like, well, then Howard's right.
Yeah, you see, Matt, I know what you're saying, but Gary won't be honest about it. But you have to really listen carefully to
I am
Gary.
honest about it. I designed it and I enjoy it.
You have to really listen. Of course, you designed it, but you did the wrong thing. You have to really listen to Gary. And Robin hit it on the head. As soon as I start, sort of tweaking him,
Yeah, probing him.
he goes, "Yeah, and the other day, we had a lot of people over, and Mary said I had to be a gentleman and take the back seats, and I was upset." Now, I mean,
Actually, he said, fuck them. Let them sit in the
Right,
uncomfortable.
right.
I mean, so Matt, am I really wrong? I mean, okay.
What happened, Howard? What happened? What's the end
You
of
said the
story?
seat wasn't so bad, but
Right, the seat was actually very comfortable.
But
You
you would-
still don't prefer it.
you still are going to, I know when the theater's empty, you're going to sit in the good seats. I know it,
guess
Gary, and admit it.
So what's wrong? I don't understand your point. What's wrong with that? It's.
My point is that you should have put in 12 great seats.
Stop talking. 98% of the time, I'll sit in the seat that I like, and 2%.
Why should you be 100% of the time?
Why should there be any seats you don't like in your theater?
You know what? It turns out I don't not like any of them.
No. I guarantee you, as soon as you go in there and it's empty, you're going to sit in the good seat. Make
You're
every
never
seat
going to
good.
watch a whole movie on the stool when you're alone.
Admit it, you fucked it up.
You're never going to watch any part of the movie on a stool when you're alone.
I'm not admitting that. I like what I have.
No, you don't.
He's
Everybody
going to
thinks you're
like it
crazy.
now just to spite us.
No, he's going to change it.
Robin, I'm long past fighting you.
And I like that Gary, the guy who paid for the theater, has to give up his good seat.
Right.
Probably the
Aw.
kids get the good seats. The kids aren't comfortable in those horrible stools back there, Gary. Do you mind sitting on the horrible stool?
I have a very similar setup, but I guess it's kind of like an onion. As you peel the top couple layers off here and get deeper into the story, it does seem like it's yet another example of Gary getting kind of shut out in the cold. And
Yeah. I mean, think about it. It's hysterical.
the setup in and of itself is kind of neat. I like it because I have a bar, plus I have a little theater going. But yeah, I've never been shut out or
Right.
Yeah, you've never had to give up your comfortable seat.
Right. And you know what? Put the bar outside the theater.
Listen to him laugh.
Matt, if I had a home theater like Gary, what I would do is I'd put a little bar
Outside.
outside. That's where you'd want to drink and eat. And then I'd for a movie. You mean Gary can get through a movie for 2 hours without having a full meal at his table? I mean, what the fuck is that? You know what? Go upstairs and eat a meal.
Listen, a real comfortable chair, you could take something
Yeah,
to
you
eat
could take a
in.
drink
Right,
and
and
a
you have a
popcorn.
little, as Howard said, a little kitchenette kind of thing right outside the theater where you have your stuff, so you don't have to go upstairs or
No,
something.
Gary
to
needs a
get
big
it.
counter so he can eat. God knows what he's eating
He
down
needs,
there.
he needs to lean over the food.
Mary, more to pasty. Yeah, both. I got 3 nice uncomfortable chairs, which Mary makes me sit in when the company comes. But Gary, you could have had a nice comfortable chair for yourself. Oh, it's not that bad. And plus, I got a big counter so I can eat. I go,
Yeah, what are you eating?
what are you eating? It's a 2-hour film. If at the most. What is he eating in there?
You gotta have a
Dude,
meal.
you know what?
What do you eat in there?
laughing to even to, I don't eat in there. It's for events just like the Super Bowl party in the sense that people might want to bring food down and drinks and sit down in there and they don't want to eat on their lap. And that's exactly what it's for. And you know what? I stand behind it.
All right. Well, you will be standing.
You'll stand right at the
He'll be at that counter.
at the counter. You probably won't even get a stool that day.
Maybe you can make a couch out of the counter. Put nice some pillows on there.
Again, I bet they're really comfortable stools, but I mean,
Right.
if you really got me full of truth serum, if I had the stool, I'd be disappointed.
Right. Imagine you go over to Gary's house now. Let's say he has 12 guys over to watch the game.
Right.
3 of you got to sit. At least 4 of you got to sit in stools.
Well, now, you're sitting there thinking, I got to get downstairs and get a chair.
Yeah, like everybody's making a mad rush to the theater.
I got a better idea. Don't come.
No, but do you realize what you set up down there? It's like everyone's like, oh shit, I'm in a stool.
It's like going to the
Like, let's say
theater, I gotta
Artie's
get a good
there,
seat.
and Artie's like, oh fuck, every other person's sitting on a nice, comfortable couch chair, and I'm in a stool.
Damn, I was late and I got a stool.
And
Why
when
would
you
you
look
set
like
that up?
when you're shaped like me nowadays, that ain't no fun.
Yeah, then all of a sudden Gary's in the awkward thing, like, Artie, wait, let me go talk to my neighbor. Maybe I can get him out of that chair, and you can switch chairs. I mean, it's like a nightmare what
I
you
don't
do.
invite you assholes anywhere near my neighbors.
now Gary's an usher. Excuse me.
Let me go see if I can arrange for you to get a more comfortable chair, Artie, because of your large size.
$20, you can sit on the couch.
Excuse me, my
Nightmare.
coworker is obese.
Yeah. Would you mind? Artie is more important in my life than you, and would you mind sitting in the shitty stool?
Artie's
And don't
having,
worry, you'll be closer to the big food over there.
Artie's having trouble breathing. At the,
He knows I'm right too, and it's killing him.
He's not going to admit it, though.
No, you just rip it out and just admit it, just once.
You can't believe the pain I'm feeling, how it's
Yeah,
killing
of course.
he ain't ripping that out. No way.
Oh, no.
Oh, excuse me, you can sit here until Artie arrives, and then when Artie comes, you're gonna have to move to the stools. But don't worry, you'll be closer to all the food.
Artie
Yeah,
probably
now-
won't stay all night anyway, and you can have the couch back.
Now he's got to put up a reserve section for people he really needs to have the stools.
We talk every day. We talk about when there's no guests on the schedule, where will the wheel land? And
Yeah. And it landed on you.
Landed on your stool.
Last night, I'm looking at the schedule. I go, no people. God Almighty, who's getting fucked
Let's
today?
take a poll, okay? Who agrees with me? I really want everyone to be honest, and I really do. Artie, you said now that
All
you
right,
thought
I'm
about
gonna
it.
be honest with you.
Don't you think you should at least see it? before
No,
you make a judgment on it?
You told us we couldn't come.
You told us that the chair. That's right. That's number one, and number two, you told us that the chair was somewhat lesser than the couch chairs. You said
Somewhat lesser.
Okay, fine. Why should you have somewhat lesser, Artie? Do you agree with me on any level?
Listen to me. And I'm going to be dead honest with you. At first, when you were giving Gary shit, I was like, you're being harsh on him. But when Gary said 3 stools, my mind went to, that sounds awful.
Right.
To sit on a stool to watch a movie or a game.
All right.
I mean, I'm
That's
being dead
one.
honest with you.
That's one vote.
I would be disappointed in the stool,
Thank
so
you.
I'd say I have to agree with you.
All right, so that's one vote.
Gary admitted he would be disappointed in the stool.
All right, Robin,
Yes.
I want you to be honest.
All right.
What do you think?
Gary convinced me that you were right.
Okay.
When he said, I was upset because the neighbors were coming and I had to sit on a stool.
Fine. Fred.
That is a very compelling argument. I'm going with Robin on that.
All right. Is there anyone, Benji or anyone, who wants to step forward and defend Gary's decision? No one ever heard of it.
I didn't even hear a
I don't see
footstep.
anybody stepping forward.
I didn't hear one
Benji's
footstep.
right here. He's
You
not
closed the
piping
voting
up.
before you can
Well,
even have
I don't
any.
know who else would step. Okay,
course.
let's wait.
Well, I did want to say.
Yeah.
Even if it
Yeah,
offends me.
For Howard's argument, could you have the bar and still have comfortable chairs?
I do have a bar and comfortable
No,
chairs.
could
That's the
you
whole point.
could you have more comfortable?
No, I didn't have
chairs?
enough room to do everything.
No, you can't do everything. You got to make a decision. First of all, there's no home theater. I bet you his is the only home theater in the country that has that.
I don't think I've
Then
ever
to
seen.
have both, I would agree with Gary.
What?
No.
I think it's worth having the bar in the room.
Okay.
I mean, you have
You're
to see
such a
the you have
douchebag,
to see the
Benji.
setup.
You're a fucking asshole.
Yeah, because he doesn't
I'm
agree
so
with you.
tired of you.
Because he doesn't agree with you. But you hate anybody that doesn't agree with
he
you.
wants to be different. He knows I'm right.
He had a genuine opinion.
No, he's a douchebag.
Benji, which chair do you want to sit in when you
wouldn't
go
even-
to Gary's?
I wouldn't
comfortable
include him
chair.
whether he agreed with you or me.
But
I
it's
just
just
don't include him in
it's
anything.
all right, because he didn't agree with you. He's
No,
a horrible
it's-
human
wait a
being.
minute.
Even his analysis is dumb.
Benji, where do you want to sit in the theater?
I
Definitely.
want to sit at the bar. Go ahead,
Well,
Benji. Say it, you
if
retard.
I'm eating,
No.
I
Where
wanna-
do you want to sit to watch a movie?
Definitely a comfortable chair.
Oh,
Thank
okay,
you.
good. That's what's done in the theater. You watch movies. You don't eat. You can eat in your chair and have a little popcorn.
There's 100 places to eat in a house.
Yeah, the idea is to sit in this really amazing, comfortable chair. Benji, you're not even agreeing with yourself. Get the fuck out of here for once, asshole.
Like
How
you're
such an asshole? You're just an asshole. You got to hear this fucking idiot. This Benji, he was on the wrap-up show. I forgot to play this.
The wheels moving.
Goddamn douchebag. Don't worry, I'll get back on you.
Aren't you glad?
I'm going to get back on you in a minute. I invited Benji to dinner.
Passed right over me.
And I told you he was a half hour late.
Yeah.
That fucking asshole. And I go, why are you late? So they got him on the wrap-up show, and Benji explains why he's late on the wrap-up show. And really, this is just mind-blowing. Let me see if I can find it, first of all. Here it is. Why Benji showed up a half hour late for dinner.
Howard said, you're sort of on the fringe of the Fab Five, or whatever you want to call it. Wouldn't you take, great pains to make sure that you're there earlier? Because you don't have that far to travel either.
Well, Howard had said it's at 7 p.m., and I thought about saying to him in advance, hey, do you mind if I get there like a half hour late?
But why? Already you're
Yeah, why are you being fashionably late?
Why are you making trouble?
Because I like to sleep first during the day.
But see, you're off. And this isn't about Howard. I mean,
but I decided not to make a big deal about it and just try to get there as soon as
Some of this is about Howard, but I'm going to take Howard out of the equation for a minute and say we all worked at IBM, and our big boss, who doesn't take us out very often, said, I'd like to take you guys out for dinner. If you walked in 20 minutes late, it's as big an issue. It's sort of like it's rude, and it's, especially when it's your boss and it doesn't happen very often. And listen, I'm not saying I'm a goody two shoes, but I'll tell you right now, Mary came in on the train and she had to have a choice of a train that got in at 6:15 or 6:45. The 6:45 train probably would have made us 5 minutes late. I'm like, there's no need for us to be late.
Right? Yeah, it was a bad idea.
And you know how Howard...
It didn't go over like the big hit that I expected.
Well, you know how Howard is when it comes to stuff like that, too, in terms of punctuality.
I guess, like, to me, maybe, because I like Howard so much and like you guys so much, I just look at it as a casual dinner with friends. And when I'm
Did
going
you
out
really look at it as a... I mean, I wasn't nervous about dinner, but I know, like, Howard's putting this on. He's so precise about these things. You know that he hates lateness. You know that he wants everybody... He's mentioned to us several times, make sure you're dressed right. He's very precise about these things. He wants it to run a certain way, and you're aware of that. Now, I'm not saying you have to agree with it, but I'm saying you're aware of it.
See, I always think of it if like there's a dinner more than like 4 people, you can be within like a half hour or so. Like that's
based on what?
I just think that I don't know.
But you just made that up.
Yeah, it's not in Miss Emily Post.
But I never heard that from any no. So like if it's more than if we're having 8 people at dinner, then you can be a half hour late.
Yeah.
First of all,
if they're 3, he has to come on time.
It's so retarded on so many levels. He goes, I was thinking of asking Howard if I could come at 7:30, and Gary goes, well, why?
Yeah.
And there's no reason why, just to be late.
Well, he actually had a reason.
I made dinner at 7 o'clock, and quite frankly, it's one thing if you have a dinner in your home and you're having a cocktail hour. This is a restaurant. People get there, they're hungry.
Yeah, you make a reservation. The table is reserved for you for a certain amount of time.
I don't want to sit there and wait a half hour to order my food. I want to eat. And why would you be late anyway? Like,
what is his reason for needing another
Benji,
half hour?
If I had said dinner at 7:30, then he would have said, "Well, I'll come at 8."
I have to come at 8.
I'll come at 8. What if I said midnight? He'd say, "I'll be there at 12:30."
I'll be there next week.
But were you busy
Retarded.
doing something before the dinner?
No, he wasn't busy with anything. What is he busy with? He has nothing going on in his life.
Howard, he didn't start and get ready, if I'm not mistaken, until 6:15.
Yeah.
Which means he was planning to be late.
I was getting out of the shower and dressed and into a cab around that time.
Yeah, I mean, and like, so Fred's rushing. Everyone's rushing to be on time because that's when we're eating. I was so pissed. I was just like sitting there going, listening to this shit. And I'm like, and then he says, well, there's a rule. If there's more than 4 people, you can show up within a half hour. And I'm like, well,
it's his rule, Benji's rule.
It's the Benji rule. And Benji doesn't get invited anywhere.
And Benji doesn't tell anybody his rules.
So and then even like with the Gary thing.
The dinner was at 6:30.
Even with the Gary thing, he goes, yeah, I would like to sit in the comfortable chair, but I agree with Gary. It's just, everything's dumb.
It's contrary.
It's just, yeah, it's contrary.
I
knew it.
He's Mr. Contrary.
I knew he'd have to find a way to be contrary.
He's the contrarian.
He's got to be the one who steps out.
You'd be so much more interesting if you gave a real opinion. Your mic's
shut up.
off. Shut the fuck up. I hate you.
I
don't like you.
I'm a libertarian.
I don't like you, Benji.
Fine. You don't
I
like
respect
it.
you for your talent, but I don't.
I'm a libertarian.
Yeah, he's a libertarian.
Dude,
No, you're an
And then he
asshole.
can't give his age.
I'm a
it's just like-
vegetarian.
what's your fucking problem?
my fucking problem is you.
No, it's not.
No, it is.
You had
You're my problem.
these kind of problems before I was around.
No.
Yeah, you did.
Oh,
Why are you so upset?
If Benji told me he was at home working on a cure for cancer, maybe that'd be a legitimate
Right,
excuse. If he
yeah.
was just on the
No,
verge of
not
the breakthrough.
cancer. I don't want to do cancer cure.
Yeah, right. I want
Just
to
as I
find.
was leaving, I got a brainstorm and I had to write it down because it's
but-
going to change the
But
world.
Benji would be inventing.
I'm making a magazine
cancer.
of women who have scoliosis.
You'd be inventing a way to give people cancer. I mean, really, what is your problem, dude? Ay, ay, ay.
I was
Guy's so
seated,
disturbing.
I was seated by 7:20.
7:20 is too late. We were waiting forever for you. That's
That's
all I can
almost
tell
like
you.
half an
Benji, I will tell you
Be
this.
on
I'm not
time.
kidding. At 7:15, Howard turned to me and he goes, "Where the fuck is he?" I mean, it's
and I said, I will never invite him to another
You did
thing
say
again.
that.
I won't. I won't.
right.
I will
That's
not invite you.
Dude, that's
You proved it to me. You don't want to be there. You're a waste
Every
of time.
time you do invite him, it's a problem.
There's always an issue. Just fucking show up. What's the problem, man? Who are you?
I forget the last thing I invited him to, and he was like, well, is it okay if I tell you tomorrow
he
or
invited me
closer to the
an election
event?
night party, and I said, I have already going to some parties. Can I come to that one and another one? He said, no, I'm just coming to. If you want to come, just come to this one. I said, okay. Well, I already obligated myself to another one. Thank you very
Right,
much.
but
already
every
confused.
time it's something with you. It's never like yes or no.
And who is looking for him? No one.
And he gives you that look,
No.
like I got a problem.
You know what? I get along very well with people.
No, you don't.
Yes, I
What
do.
people?
How many friends do you have?
I have lots of friends.
Yeah,
let's,
sure you do.
let's compare our MySpace page, man. Come on.
Well, you got me there.
I do, Howard. I have lots of friends. lots
MySpace,
of
you got
close
me.
friends.
You definitely have more people in your MySpace
but it's not
page.
just me. You have.
You have a MySpace page because you
I
have
don't
no
have
friends.
a MySpace page.
Yeah.
But why do you let everything bother you so much?
You bother me. And
What?
Gary's decision bothers me. It bothers me when people don't think.
I don't.
Gary built a theater where when he has more than 8 people, his wife goes, "You'll have to take the shitty seat."
And I think the decision was it's worth having.
All
a
right, good.
bar
All
in
right,
the
I'm
room.
glad what you think. It's worth having a bar in a theater. You're so fucking retarded. That's a retarded thought. It is. Even Artie's laughing at you. And Artie's had some retarded
I'm
thoughts.
laughing at the whole situation. But Benj, we've been working here for about the same amount of time. You know you didn't think Howard throwing a dinner at Danielle. You know that's not a casual dinner with friends. You know you got to be on
It's
time.
not
This isn't like a-
TGI Friday.
Yeah, I
It's
mean,
not like a barbecue either, where it's kind of open-ended. People kind of show up
You
when
know,
they
and
show
you know
up.
what? You know what? I'll tell you why you're out of your mind, and you really got to work on this because people aren't going to put up with it. If you'd come in and said, you know what, a terrible thing happened to me. I was on my way here and I got hit by a car, or something terrible. But you walk in and go, I thought that if it's more than 4 people, you could wait to come. Like, but why would you wait? Just come at time.
And
Why
it's
would I make a
rude
dinner?
to everyone
Why
else
would
at
I
the
make a dinner at 7:00 so you could come at 7:20 or 7:30?
It's the more than 4 people rule.
I apologize
Yeah,
that it
of
upset
course.
you. It was a nice dinner, and I apologize it upset you.
And then you don't
I can
eat.
see maybe I'm
and
not
then you didn't
seeing
eat
it.
anything, and then we have to wait for you. That was even more bizarre.
Even that, the food, the ordering,
I'm not
everything
through
was a
with dinner.
problem.
He finally orders something, and they won't order an appetizer. Everyone's having an appetizer.
Right.
Okay, fine. I order him an appetizer.
Then he asked everybody at the table, "Do you want my appetizer?"
No,
Nobody
I
was
didn't
getting an
know if you
appetizer.
were- was
He goes, "I got
was-
one coming. Would you like it?" It is
just
like
wanted-
chaos.
And then he won't eat his main course.
Right. No,
We all
Howard-
finish the main course.
Howard.
He's just all sitting there, and then finally we're ready to order dessert. And he goes to.
And he's
He
still
says to the
holding
waiter.
on it.
He
Yeah.
says to the waiter. This is the kicker. I'm not done eating yet. So now we're all sitting there waiting to order dessert for 10 fucking minutes, and he still doesn't eat his entree.
That's exactly why you should show up on time.
Listen,
Yeah, you don't start eating before us so you can finish on
I would
time.
be happy to.
You're
but
so fucked, and you're so fat. You know you want to just fucking slosh everything down. What's that waiting to eat?
And I'm
thing?
not going to get an appetizer.
I'm fat because
like
I'm
you
not
don't
hungry.
eat much.
I'm not hungry.
I have
no,
a
you're hungry.
glandular issue.
Dude, you're
I
fat.
never-
You eat.
Yeah, I overeat. But when I'm social,
Oh, but when you're with us, you don't overeat.
no.
Well, now there's a time to overeat.
But also, if I had let the waiter take the food, you'd be like, I just spent this much on the food, and now he's giving it back.
So eat it in the appropriate
it.
time.
I would
Everybody's,
take it in a doggy bag. I don't
everybody's
care. Just
plate
take-
was empty but yours. Seriously, like they gave us plenty of time to eat.
And listen, the lateness has nothing to do with it. 'cause I
you're
started
such
eating
a
the same
fucking
time you guys did.
maniac, man. Your parents
No,
must
I
have
know,
just
but-
totally raised you like in an environment where you got to do whatever you wanted.
I've met
not
his
true.
parents.
Do you not-
His parents are fine. Benji's fucked up.
Hey, I got a wheel spin for you. Lisa pulls me aside in the hallway yesterday. This is off the air. And she says, I'm really worried about Artie's penis.
Why?
She's like, again, she brought this up before. She said she's like,
Oh,
I
he's
looked at the
deflecting.
picture. Yeah,
All right, but let's hear this. I mean,
That's
She said,
creepy.
I looked at the picture again, and there's no like penis bulge, and I think that the heroin's shrinking his penis.
Did you really say this?
And
Yeah,
I was
I
like,
did.
I was like,
Let me see
Lisa,
that
I don't know that
picture.
heroin does that. Maybe it does.
Lisa's focused on your crotch.
Yeah.
Lisa,
I tried to
really, that
explain
is
her
the
how
creepiest
penises
thing
It
I've
is
ever
not
heard.
creepy. It's the
Gross
truth.
sometimes.
What are you doing looking at Artie's
Your hands,
crotch?
you're all bloated. Your hands are bloated, and you have no
No.
penis.
Lisa, what are you
Lisa,
talking
he's wearing
about?
sweatpants. How would you see his
Right.
penis? Look, I'm looking at it.
Well, if he had one, maybe you would see
Oh, you
something.
can see outline of balls and dick a
No,
little
you
bit.
don't.
First of all,
Let me take a look,
this
because
is-
I really didn't look at that.
But that's the creepiest thing I've ever heard.
What do you think? His cock's inverted?
I think it's shrunk.
No.
From what? How would you know?
Well, she thinks the heroin might have done something to it.
You're that worried
Benji
about...
did really well
That's how
deflecting.
any man would look in sweatpants.
No,
You think so?
Yeah.
They're bunched up.
I think you're up base on that.
Now, Lisa,
And how do you know they didn't airbrush? Maybe he bulged so much they airbrushed
Lisa's trying to be outrageous now with the
No,
Lisa.
I'm not.
it.
Yes,
The
you are.
Lampanelli
Yeah.
connection.
No, I'm not. Mm-mm.
Yes, you. I mean, you're being weird now. That's actually
Why
weird.
don't you show your penis to Lisa? Take her in a
I
private
actually,
She
room.
might,
wants it.
I actually might go to Human Resources now.
Yeah, I think you're being sexually harassed. I have to agree with that. At first, I thought it was a joke.
Lisa, that's gross.
You're staring at pictures of his
And,
penis.
you know,
I'm not
being-
staring at it. It just kind of when
What
he
picture
doesn't
have
have
you
one.
seen of a guy where you can see his cock?
It's not that you can see it, but I mean, if you have something to show, usually there's some
but
kind
he's
of
wearing pants.
right,
I'm
and there's
seeing-
nothing there.
You know, in a way, you're right. That I'm looking at like you can see the outline of my dick right
You
here.
see a little something. Oh, Howard, don't show up. I'll be so embarrassed.
I mean, she wants to see it.
You're looking down at yourself?
Yeah, I can see it. But anyway,
Always a little something.
Let me, Artie, stand up now. See if we can see any little bulge.
Yeah, he's wearing sweatpants again.
Well, then this is a perfect test.
See, turn around.
Now you can see it.
I see his dick.
You can see the head of his cock.
Big and thick.
And it's going to go in your mouth.
Why don't you try a bowl of Diet Cottage cheese first?
All right.
In your mouth?
In your mouth.
Let's see. Robin, how would it work? Let's say me, you, Gary, Mary, Artie, Fred, Benji, JD, Sal, and Richard.
Well, it's already too many people.
No, that's 12, I believe. I think I'm right, but I might have lost count.
Well,
Well, first of all-
definitely JD, Sal, and Richard have to take stool.
No. First
So
of all,
don't you think Gary should have to take this?
Robin watches everything from the man cave because that's clearly the place to be. The
No,
theater's
I
stupid.
said you do Super Bowl in the man cave.
Right.
No, but aside from Robin's comment, does Robin get a good chair?
Listen, my guests will always get a good chair.
But then you got to choose a couple of guests to sit in the bad chair.
Yeah, who's sitting on a stool?
Yeah.
Well, right now I only have 3 stools, so that's Mary and I, and I'd say
You going to
Sal.
put your wife in the bad chair?
It's her idea. I'm telling you. She's the one. She tells me we're having this party. We were watching Slumdog Millionaire, right?
Right.
Right. Some of the neighbors over. She tells me,
Hey, can you give me a copy of that for my parents?
yeah.
My,
if I still-
my
if I-
mom and dad want to see it.
I think I have a copy
All
of
right.
it.
And they're old. They can't get to the theater.
So she tells me in advance we invited 3 couples, so that's 8 people. Then at the last minute we invited another couple. So I'm like getting ready to go down. Mary says, we'll sit in the stools, and I was like, why? And she's like, because we're
you're the
we're
host. Right, she's right.
Oh, so Mary and Gary are taking 2 of the stools. Who gets
That's
the
right.
3rd stool?
Yeah, so
Sal.
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 All right.
Because I need to keep an eye on him.
First of all, Howard's leaving early, so I'm taking his chair.
But you see, I would feel so guilty. I'd say to Mary, "I'll sit in this stool. You can have the good chair." And
See,
there's
right
the rub.
away
But I don't have the
now,
choice.
Your guests are taking
I'm
stools.
going
right,
to give
right.
up my chair for Mary.
I see.
Uh-oh. Baba Booey's going to sneeze.
It went away.
Just made the strangest face.
It's like I
I
got
thought he
a,
was having a spell.
I got a tickle running around in there.
I thought you were having a seizure.
Yeah, I know.
Really? Do we need to call someone?
Yeah. I'm obsessed with your home theater. I can't tell you how freaked out I am.
By the way, I just want to say I'm going to plug something. It's going to be featured in Sound and Vision magazine. They're doing
Your
a
home
big piece
theater.
on it. Yeah.
I'm going to be getting a copy of that.
You will be.
Does it show the stools and
Oh,
the bar?
it had the photographs haven't taken, but it'll show everything.
Okay.
Hey, Gary, what is that gadget Gary thing you do? That's not you gotta be on the news doing like suggesting gadgets.
Yeah, I'm
and
going
stuff?
on Howard. I'm going on CW11 a week from this Friday, and I'm going to be the gadget guy. I'm going to be
right.
showing cool new
Oh,
gadgets.
that's cool.
Yeah, you're into all that high-tech
Yeah.
stuff anyway.
Hey, by the way, Scott the engineer is really angry that Gary has a home theater. Even with whether it's built right or not. He's like, doesn't it piss? He's going around telling everyone, doesn't it piss you off that Gary even has a home theater?
Are you surprised that Scott secretly counts people's money behind their back?
And now he'll come in here and deny it all.
Exactly.
That's what
Right.
really
I
pisses
never
you off. He
said
won't even
that.
own up to what
Why don't you
what
tell
a
the truth
mess
for
he
once?
is.
I will.
Yeah, tell the
everyone.
truth. You're angry, right?
I'll absolutely tell the truth, and I'm not angry. And I said it to my intern.
Yeah, what'd
As
you
a
say?
joke, right?
I said, I'm going to go try and piss Sal off. and I wanted to see if he'd come and tell you. And he did. He went right to you. Went right to you.
But meanwhile, you had the thought.
Right.
No. I wanted to try and piss Sal off, and I told my intern I'm going to go and try and piss Sal off. So when it goes back to Howard, you know that I was doing that.
All right.
And he'll verify it if you want.
Meanwhile, you had the thought.
Sal,
You're so full of shit.
No, go get my intern.
He bitches every goddamn day about everything.
Why don't you just run to Howard? Why don't you just run in here and just fucking open your mouth?
Wait, hold on,
hey,
Scott. I passed
hey,
you
if
in
I
the
ever told
hallway.
you a secret and you could hold it in,
if you told me
that'd
it
be
was
amazing.
if you told me it was a secret out of respect, like
You're such a fucking asshole.
Scott, you've told me a lot of secrets. Trust me that I've never said.
Okay.
You passed me in the hallway and said. How? Because you said never mind the stools. How pissed are you that cocksucker has his own home theater?
That's right. I did say that.
So you are bitter about it.
I told my intern I was going to tell it to you to try to piss you off.
But Scott, you still had the thought.
But I'm not pissed. What do I give a shit?
You're pissed off, Scott.
I'm not pissed off.
You're so pissed.
I don't give a shit.
Sometimes Scott one time drove me home, Howard. We got in his car. It's this little piece of shit jalopy, it's putting away. And Scott goes, look at my limousine.
Well, that's true. That's true.
Yeah, Freud would argue.
I don't know. I go home. I got a
mad.
nice, comfortable, recliner. I don't have a
See?
stool.
He's bitter.
I got a stool. I don't care. I don't. He's
You
got a
watch
stool.
TV on a recliner?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you make more sense than he
Do you
does.
keep the comfortable chair when guests come in?
I got 2 comfortable recliners and a nice, comfortable couch in my den, and it's fine with me.
You have a TV?
Yeah, a little
Wow.
like 19-inch. No, I have a TV.
I can't even believe it.
I have an HD TV too.
Can you believe he has a TV?
Really?
He gets pissed at he was pissed when I mentioned all the people going to Gary's theater in my imaginary scenario, and I didn't
And
mention
you
him.
didn't mention him.
Yeah, I get reports on you all the time. All right. Thank you, Scott. What? Yes, Ralph.
Hey, now.
Hey, now.
Can I do an impression of Gary on the wrap-up show?
Sure.
So here's the deal. Like I was telling the news department earlier, Howard had 4 hours to fill. I knew something was going to happen. I never know who was going to be. Blah, blah, blah. Like the wrap-up show becomes him saying that, it was just a bit. You're not real. You don't really think it was stupid.
I do.
That was just a bit,
I tell you one thing I do know, Rob. I think you're stupid.
I wouldn't build a home theater and then put like a bench in it.
Right?
I mean, that's retarded.
You want comfy chairs. That's the fun of a home theater.
And he won't admit that he's wrong. Here's a
He just won't rip it out and just take care of it.
You want to hear something really retarded?
A guy who's got way too much money. Like, in what world would Bob Cooley ever have a home theater?
Right. Okay. Listen to what goes on in Ralph's world. Guy's got an HD television. Right. Giant HD television. You watching any HD programming, Ralph?
No.
Why not?
Well, yeah, actually, I am Blu-ray.
No, but how come Ralph is too cheap or can't get HD? He won't get
No,
HD.
I'm just not a fucking glutton. I don't need you have to have everything, Gary. I mean,
Ralph, why would you think it's gluttonous?
You got more shit
Hold on.
in that house.
You think it's gluttonous to buy an HD television, spend all that money, and not have HD cable? You think that's gluttonous?
Well, I'm not going to pay an extra $100.
Because you're a cheap fuck.
I'm not going to pay an extra $100 a month just so I can get my picture a little better.
And why'd you buy the TV?
Why aren't you satisfied with what you have? That's the big.
All right, guys. If you can pick it up on the wrap-up show.
You don't think that that's stupid?
Well, I have a feeling that Ralph doesn't want to pay for the cable, so what he does is he watches Blu-ray and DVD on his high-def television.
Why would Gary? Seriously, why would I pay an extra $100 just to get HD?
First of all, I can't believe it costs $100 to get HD.
It does.
With cable.
I don't want to bore you with the math, but it does.
All right. Hey, anyway, guys, you can take it up on the wrap-up show. I'm sure it'll be fascinating.
But again, Ralph just sits at home all day. He doesn't do anything. He doesn't produce anything. He doesn't generate anything. I'm not even sure he still gets a check from you, but he's got a plethora of opinions.
Somebody had to get hit, and it was my turn.
But keep talking. It'll be your turn, dickface.
Not my turn.
All right, Ralph, thank you for your thoughts.
This is me, and then it went to Artie, and then Benji. And
I think what I'm hearing is somebody who was jealous that they didn't save his money for the last 20 years to have his own home theater.
No, I have a home theater.
Yeah.
My couch is in front
Without
of
HD television.
He's got a screen and he's got a couch.
Yeah, that's my home theater, man.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, enough with the home theater. All right.
It's causing all kinds of rifts. This
Yeah.
whole
Is it enough,
theater.
Howard?
That's enough. It's officially over. Yes, Dave.
Hey, Howard, it is generally an honor to talk to you. I gotta chime in though. For after this home theater thing, I used to be in this business for 7-8 years, and the fact is that if the client was a complete asshole, I would let him spend his money on whatever they wanted.
Right. What do you
Okay?
care? Yeah.
Exactly, but the fact is, if they were decent people, I mean, they truly listen, etc. The first thing I tell them is, when you're building a theater, understand it's for movies. Okay, have a kitchen outside the room,
Right.
or a bar area outside the room. The other thing that they would try to do is, we want speakers in our dining room, and I tell them, listen, dining is for conversing. You know, we're going to talk here, and the rest of the house, just turn up the volume just a little bit.
Right, just so you have a little ambiance.
Right.
Exactly. You put the comfortable seats in the theater because it's a theater and not a nightclub.
Yeah,
And I
you
think
know what
that's
it is? It's a case of wanting to cram everyththing into that one room. In other words, I'm going to have my eating area. I'm
Make
going
it
to have
multi-purpose.
Yeah, we're going to have guests. We're going to serve food. It's a theater. It's for a theater experience.
Can I ask you a question?
Dave, as a man in the business, thank you for calling in because that's my point.
Yeah.
No, it's a man who used to be in the business.
No, yeah,
I think he said he's out. Are you still in it?
I still do it on the side. I built theaters all over the country. A lot of them in magazines that you're published in, Gary. And again, I'm a techie guy, so I really like the things you say. But I do have to go with Howard on this one for the sole reason. Again, it's a family or guest sitting in a comfortable environment.
The room has a purpose. In other words, as you say, would I build a dining room and then put a greenhouse in it? I mean, you don't have to. In other words, it has a distinct purpose. It's
2
a
minutes
home
ago,
theater.
you said it was enough.
I know. Well, Dave got me charged up.
in.
Yeah, I mean, I
And
didn't
you're
realize
still fighting.
He knows what. He
I
knows.
didn't realize a professional home theater guy was going to call it.
Yeah, that's a weird thing too, because almost any guy can be a professional home theater
That's
guy.
bullshit.
He understands that too. Like you could just say you're one.
No,
but there's a lot of
acoustically-
guys who do it who aren't that good
Well,
at it.
you're right, but I'm CEDIA certified. I've done this for a long time. And Gary, I'm not going against. I've had clients do it, but again, they were the idiots that didn't listen. Not that you're an idiot.
But I got to tell you, this was
Dave.
Yeah.
I'm building a swimming pool in my den. What do you think of that? I'm going to combine the purposes of the room.
If you're not going to listen to me, I think it's a great idea. But otherwise, hey, well, why the hell wouldn't you listen to the people that you're consulting with?
But I did listen to the guy. Would you be surprised to know that it was his idea?
Well, I don't know.
Dave, I'd love to talk wrong, but I'm in the middle of planning a shooting range in my kitchen. I'll see you later.
That's a great idea, Howard.
Thank you. Yeah, if you could help me build that, thank you.
You got it. Bye.
I'll spend all kinds of money. Honey, I'm hungry.
I got a kitchen in my theater.
I mean, if I'm going to be down here shooting, I like to eat.
Have a sandwich.
So, Gary, why do you think Howard's so hung up on this home theater thing?
Because there's no guest on today, and because he gets a thought in his head, you can't get rid of it.
Now, does it bother you that in the beginning, mostly everyone seemed to be on your side, and now it seems like everyone's against you?
I don't really care. I genuinely don't care. I just look at it as killing time. I'm sure. Listen, maybe in his mind he thinks it, and maybe 15 years ago I would have really been bummed out about it.
Well, I'm down here today. I'm mostly down here because I like to come down here about once every 6 months. It's fun. I'm also promoting a movie, Zootopia, which is the greatest movie ever made. And so I'm just going to have fun and hopefully not hurt anybody's feelings on the show. It's just fun to be interviewed by Howard. And so, I'm also promoting Zootopia and some other things, but mostly just come down to have fun here.
Right, by that aside from the promotion, the conversation seems to stray and go into various corners, but you're okay with that. You come back continuously.
I'm okay with it, and I don't intentionally say things, but things come up where when I leave the show, immediately I feel I need to call people. But it's worked out so far, and everybody's accepted my apologies. And it's fine. But when you come to the show, you have to be willing to talk about stuff. Otherwise, you're wasting people's time.
Right. You have to give a little to get a little.
You have to give a little You have to give a lot to get little, but it's worth it. It's great. There's no show that's better to promote anything, whether it be stand-up or movies or books, than being interviewed by Howard. I mean, it's the best anywhere.
All right, Tom. We'll see you in the studio.
Thank you.
Hey now, Tom Arnold's stopping by. Look at this. Always good seeing him. I always like this guy. He's got good energy.
I was talking about Tom Arnold.
Tom's got a new movie.
Yeah?
It's you with the movies, bro.
Oh, my gosh.
Mr. Movie Star.
Is this it? Is this what I do?
It's hard keeping a movie career together,
It
man,
really
right?
is.
You got to keep finding... Hey, Gary, put Tom's mic a little closer to his mouth. Not a lot. Go ahead. No, it's. I'm just trying to get the...
Yeah,
We're having a
I'm trying to-
microphone bad day.
Yeah.
Let me
How's
see.
that?
Let me see. Say
Okay.
testing 1 2.
Testing 1 2.
That's all
Testing
right.
1 2. But it's just all right.
That's
Gary,
come on, Gary. Make it happen.
Get your kid back in here.
It's so crazy.
Yeah.
Like the microphones weren't working, and my engineer wouldn't come in and like fix it. He was too tired.
Oh yeah.
That's crazy.
That makes
right?
sense. That makes sense. You know, it's funny seeing Ronnie outside. He greets you.
Yeah.
Because I've met him a bunch of times. I know he's small. You expect some big dude, right?
I know.
Just very trim. You
Like,
know, normal.
am I like the complete? Like everyone makes fun of me for having, like Ronnie does security, but like it's not like I expect him to beat anybody up.
Yeah.
It's just that, like, he kind of makes sure things
Yeah.
run smoothly, and if he sees anything weird going down, I figure he can call one of the big guys in.
Right.
That's the way I'm looking
Right.
at it.
Right. He's very lean.
Ronnie did security for me over the weekend, and he does a really good job. I
Yeah.
was very impressed.
Yeah. Fortunately, nothing ever goes down. So,
Right.
Thank goodness.
yeah.
Well, one time on America's Got Talent, I had Ronnie doing security, and Howie threw like a rubber snake, and everybody started running away because they thought it was a real snake.
Right.
And Ronnie ran away too. Like all my security guys did. Like nobody came to my aid. It was really kind of weird. It was sort of like a fire drill,
Right.
Yeah. How you been?
I'm good.
Dude, how old are you now?
I'm 54.
And you just had a baby.
Yeah.
Oh, my
He's 6
God.
months.
How you?
I'm exhausted.
Congratulations.
Thank you. It's great.
How you holding up?
I can't feel old because I got a kid.
Yeah.
So since he's been born, I've lost over 50 pounds just by going, oh, I can't die this year. I'll give you a couple more. But it's great. We're doing sleep training, so mostly Ashley has to do it. But
you wanted a kid for so long. I remember back in the Roseanne days,
I know.
you wanted a kid.
You were
I did.
trying, yeah?
But in a way, thank God.
Yeah,
you didn't
definitely.
have one with Roseanne, because you
Definitely.
guys would be locked
It
forever.
would be horrible.
It would be horrible.
No offense to her,
Right.
but it would be horrible.
Right, because the two of you disagree on everything.
Well, and especially then, during the divorce, if we'd had a kid, God knows what would have been said about me and the kid, and because everything was said, and so that's all good.
And you had tried everything, and Roseanne had blamed it on you that you couldn't have.
It was my fault. She was right about that.
You had a low sperm count.
Very low.
Low
yes.
sperm.
And I didn't think it would work with Ashley because I tried it 23 times, the in vitro fertilization thing with the other wives. But I thought, well, we have to go through this for Ashley, even though I know it's not going to work.
Had you resigned yourself in your mind that you were never going to have a kid?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Like
Absolutely.
So it was total shock when they said to you, hey,
Total.
guess what?
And it
Are
was
you
shock.
sure this child is yours?
I'm pretty sure because Dax Shepard offered sincerely.
Dax Shepard, the comedian who's with Kristen Bell.
Yeah, offered, came over one night and said, listen, I want to do this for you. Kristen says it's okay. You could have my sperm. And I said, that's, the nicest thing anyone's ever said to me. And then I ran that by Ashley, and she's like, let's try one more time. Right. Because that could be weird. And, now when I'm at Dax's
Do
house.
you ever think in a weird way, like that motivated you to, I mean, I know you can't motivate sperm, but like, sometimes the human body can just sort of rise to the occasion.
That, and we'd met with an adoption lawyer like the week before we found out we were pregnant.
And in a way, maybe that relaxed you. Like you said, well, I'm going to have a kid one way or another, right?
But even when the doctor said, oh, she's pregnant, I didn't believe it. And all the appointments, and you see the heartbeat, I was like, this is going to go sideways, because it did a couple times. Right. So I never, until she had the C-section, and I got to watch the baby coming out of her stomach, I didn't believe it.
In a way, though, isn't it kind of annoying when a guy, between you and me, when Dax comes over and goes, I'll give you my sperm. like in a way, isn't it kind of...
Well, if he'd have done it on day one, 10 years ago when I met him, like the first night.
Why'd you just go fuck my wife?
Yeah, exactly. But he's really thoughtful. And, he had to run that by Kristen. Right. And now we have children that are 10 days apart.
I didn't know you were close to Dax Shepard
Very
and
close.
Kristen Bell. Those are like your close friends.
Yeah, very close. Best friend.
And the babies are like just a couple of weeks?
10 days. Lincoln, their baby, adorable, 10 days apart. We went over. Jackson and I had a father-son day last weekend. We went over to visit, which was kind of a mistake because Lincoln is so smart.
Right.
Like I was feeling really good about my son.
Right.
And I sat him down together and we're watching, and Lincoln takes these toys and she's showing him how to play with them. Like she's trying to communicate, and he takes them and stuffs them in his mouth every time. And I was worried.
Well, boys are slower than girls.
Well, believe me, I was worried, and I started going, oh my gosh, did we have him tested? Seriously.
Right.
I had that feeling. I know. I called Ashley. I said, I don't want to talk about this on the phone, but I'm very concerned. I'm looking back at some old pictures of him, and he does look a little odd. And I just feel like, I had a meltdown for a whole day.
Right. You thought maybe he's retarded or
right.
something.
I hate to say it, and it would have been fine.
Right.
But I honestly felt, if you've seen the two of them together, because she is so smart, and all he wants to do is eat his bottle.
But Kristen Bell has said that your son is a cuter child than her daughter.
Well, she is so nice. Their daughter is adorable. Looks just like Kristen.
Oh, well, that can't be bad.
No, that can't be bad. No, it's adorable.
Yeah.
But my son is very cute. He's very handsome.
And you named your son Jax after the character on Sons of Anarchy?
But partly,
I remember you were on Sons of Anarchy.
Yes, I was on Sons of Anarchy. And partly that. My dad's name is Jack, and I wanted to honor him, but not too much.
Okay.
So it went to his head.
Why, because you don't like your dad that much?
I love him, but I don't want to be Jack Jr. or Tom Jr. or
it's
whatever.
Annoying, yeah.
It's annoying. And then, that came up because Ashley loves that character.
Right.
And she probably loves the actor.
Right.
Charlie.
How'd you end up on Sons of Anarchy? Did you do it because you loved the show so much?
I love the show, but Kurt Sutter, I got to know him a little bit. He's the creator. He's the genius behind it.
Yeah.
And he just had me on for a couple of years.
Yeah, you were a pornographer.
Yes.
Yeah. I watched that show.
And every time I had to get beat up by Jax Teller, who's Charlie Hunnam, and I would be like, Kurt, he can't beat me up in real life. I don't know why this is. And he goes, just do the fucking script. I go, yeah, but in real life, I just want you to know. He couldn't do it. He probably could, but in my mind, I took him very personally on that show.
Right.
And then he finally yeah, we're killing you next week, Tom. So
you remind me of Eric the actor. He will not play any gay characters because he's afraid everyone will think he's gay.
Yeah.
You're saying in real life you could beat up Charlie Hunnam.
I would think so.
Yeah.
I would think that he's much
like
younger.
A good fighter.
Yeah. But the Eric the actor thing was pretty brilliant because all actors, it was true. Everything about that was true. It was, distorted, but yet I was listening to that and I thought, yeah, I've been there.
Yeah.
I've been, in the competition and the sadness and the rejection. And
do you get close to the guys on Sons of Anarchy when you're on the show?
I did. I knew some before from movies and stuff.
I feel bad for this Charlie Hunnam guy.
Yes,
the guy who
he's great.
Plays Jax.
Yes.
He was chosen to be in 50 Shades of Grey.
Yes.
And he just backed out.
He did this weekend.
Because I think he felt that so many fans were against him being this lead character in 50 Shades of Grey that he said, what do I need this aggravation for? That he actually kind of got himself forced out of the role.
Right. Yeah.
Did you ever talk to him about that?
No, but I think I was excited he was doing it because then I would actually watch 50 Shades of Grey.
Right.
Because he's such an interesting choice. Yeah. But I think, Sons of Anarchy isn't going to be on forever.
Right.
Maybe another year after this or whatever. And so he's got to do something else.
Right.
But I think it just became so much. And I know he's naked in the movie a lot.
Right.
And maybe that's what would bug me if I had to take my shirt off.
Oh, shirt off. But he's in shape, this kid.
That's true.
Yeah.
It's true.
I mean, if I had to take my shirt off, it'd be embarrassing.
No, but it's good. But it's good. Yeah, he definitely, I bet he felt pressure. And he had to have bodyguards all of a sudden. And he likes to just live.
Really?
The thing, you and Dak Shepard, because you're becoming fathers at the same time and you're close friends.
Yes.
You both shared the same OBGYN, the same
gynecologist. She's
gynecologist.
so smoking hot. She's so good, too, I just want to say.
Right.
Very professional.
And you guys would take pictures surreptitiously of your gynecologist?
Well, when we had to go to a lot of appointments and had to go with our wives, so he would send me, this is bad. Okay.
Did she know this was going
No,
on?
I hope not. I hope not. Like they're taking a video, you're supposed to be of the screen and the wife, and the video would be going down. I know it's very inappropriate and sexist and horrible, but then he would send it to me, and then, and then we found out Jason Dumel, he was going to her, so we were bummed that she would like him more than us because he's super hot. Yeah.
Right. Well. So in other words, it's just so attractive, this gynecologist, that she's so beautiful
and put together and so professional. There's a lot about her that's great, and she's a great gynecologist.
So while she's examining your wife, you could take pictures of her buttocks.
Well, that happened. I don't want Dr. Hakaka. That's her name. It's a great name. But she's like the best in the world. Right. I don't want to seem. My wife was very pissed off. Let's put it that way.
That you and Dax were taking...
very pissed off. Yes.
I imagine so.
That's so.
You guys are there because it's a beautiful time between you and your wife.
Yes.
The baby is coming into the world soon, and you guys are taking pictures of the gynecologist's ass.
Right.
Oh my
God.
And
she's just very smartly put together too. We took her whole outfit. Right. Like one day she wore these boots that go all the way up to the knee, and I thought, well, that's a great look. It's very,
Oh, yeah. So you captured it.
Yeah, I captured that.
And I understand you are still seeing the gynecologist even after your wife is not.
I wish.
Yeah.
She's so good. She's so beautiful and whatever. That's just.
So is she the gynecologist to the stars? I mean,
she does a lot of people. I think she does a lot of people, but she does because she's not like they wanted a mohel to come in to do my son's circumcision. Ashley did, and I didn't want anybody else in the hospital that had germs, and the idea of this old mohel that's whatever, he's pretty, but I had her do it.
Dr. Hakaka did it?
So she's the first person that touched my son's penis, which is all, I mean, it's all downhill from here. But I wanted to take a picture of her for his sake later in life when I go, hey, as a matter of fact, look at this.
What did Dr. Hakaka wear during the circumcision? Did she wear?
Everything she has is like fitted.
Right.
So even her hospital stuff is like fitted.
Right.
So it's beautiful. So I go, I'm very attentive when she's around. I went in for the circumcision.
Right.
Normally I would miss that. But she's so loving too. And she's just a wonderful woman.
You have a crush on Dr. Hakaka.
Well, of course.
Yeah.
Of course. And her husband is super smoking hot too. Of course he is.
She's married.
He's hot too.
Yeah. Well, okay. Well, very good. I mean, it's just incredible. And you say you lost 50 pounds.
I did.
Because you really have to worry about your health now. I mean, God forbid. I mean, you got a young child at home.
Right.
And you are the role model, right?
Right.
You're the male role model.
Yes,
I
I hope so.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
And you want to be around.
That's the whole point. I want to be around. And it's not hard. It's just that I was such a glutton before. I just eat normal-sized meals. We have a lady that brings over some food.
Right.
And it's been easy.
People don't understand that concept. If you cut down your portions.
Right.
I dropped 22 pounds myself.
You look good.
Thank you. As you do, too. And so, like how we're blowing smoke up each other.
No, but seriously.
We both look horrible. Anyway, but
Generally, we look horrible.
Now we look a little better. But what I'm saying is, people don't realize, because someone said to me, how'd you do it? How'd you do it?
Right.
I said, listen, I just ate a normal breakfast.
Right.
Sort of like a spa lunch. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
Some vegetables and some fish. And then for dinner, I eat whatever I want.
Right.
But, nothing crazy.
Right.
A portion.
Right, exactly.
Nobody gets that.
Exactly.
Right. And the weight will come off.
One plate. Before I would eat 2 plates.
Right.
Load them all up.
Me too.
Get ready to go through there. But also, I think that bread was my thing. So just eliminating that.
And I know you don't drink, but if you have 2 or 3 glasses of wine,
right,
you're going to pack on the pounds.
It turns to sugar.
That's right. I have one glass. If that.
Right.
All
Exactly.
right,
It's
Mr.
crazy.
Teetotaler. I mean,
Exactly.
don't come down to me. I don't need rehab.
Exactly.
Maybe 3 times
I wish
a
you
week.
did. That would be hilarious.
What, if I was in rehab?
Yeah, wouldn't that be great?
I heard a story about you with rehab.
Yeah.
That you got to confirm or deny. Okay. The story was that you, I guess you were in some sort of chain letter. Not chain letter, but an email with a lot of people that signed on to this group email.
Right.
Okay. And I don't know, you got mad in the email.
Yes.
And you lost your cool and you called somebody a fag.
Right.
And Elton John's husband was in the chain.
And Elton John.
And Elton John as well. And in the email where you called this guy a fag.
Yes.
They saw it.
Yes.
And they got so upset with you. And they were going to kick your ass.
Yes, they were.
They were.
Yeah.
And so in order to...
Do you think you could kick their asses?
No, there's no way they can kick my ass. I mean, here's the whole story. All right. Okay, Kevin Zegers, a young actor, very good friend of mine.
Right.
We met making Gardens of the Night. He's a brilliant young actor.
What
really
movie were you
sweet
making?
guy.
Gardens of
the Night. Yeah, we played pedophiles. He was my younger pedophile. Right. We got very close. And we also are in this new movie called The Something of Something. Anyway, it's great.
You don't know the name of
Downers Grove.
Oh.
The Curse of Downers Grove, which comes out this year. It's very, very good.
Okay.
Brent Ellis Easton or Easton Ellis wrote it. And anyway, so
did you read the script?
I did. Well,
Okay.
no, not really, but it's great. And Kevin's one of the best young actors there are. Anyway, I'd been in rehab. I had all these surgeries,
right.
But because of the surgeries, I was still on medication. This is in January of 2011. So really, I owe Elton John and his husband, David. Is it David Guest?
David Guest.
David
I don't know.
David Furness?
Yeah. That's it.
David Furnish.
Yeah. David Guest was Liza Minnelli's husband. They're different guys.
Oh, okay.
I just realized that. Anyway, now he's probably super pissed now. Okay.
I don't even know his name. But
So
go ahead.
I'd been to rehab, but I still had to take medication because I had this open thing they were going to do surgery on, and I was funky. And I just got back from Hawaii, and I had to take sleeping pills. I had whatever, and I was funky. And so I'm on the internet, and it's Kevin Zegers. Somebody says we're planning a birthday party for Kevin. Do you want to be involved? I'm like, hell yes, hell yes, hell yes. And then we're back and forth on the internet. All of a sudden, Kevin comes on and says, listen, I love you, man. Like, very seriously, sincere. And I just wrote back fag in big letters, which I know is inappropriate.
Right.
But I apparently hit send all or reply all. And the next thing I know, Elton John's husband is like, I'm going to kick your fucking ass, you fucking fat, sweaty motherfucker. I'm coming over there. And I'm like, well,
fat,
fuck
sweaty.
First of all, who the fuck are you?
Right.
And shut the fuck up. Anyway, my wife realizes this is going on. This is the middle of the night, by the way.
Right.
She comes down and she's like, oh my God, that's Elton John's fucking husband, and you're going to fight him? I go, fucking yes, I'm going to fight him. Oh, she goes, you said fag. I said, I didn't say fag to him. I know it's inappropriate. I'll never say fag again. But now, seriously, I have to fight this guy. And she was like, that is it. You're going into detox right now. So literally, I was like, okay, fuck. Okay, I'll go into detox. So I went right. So they saved my life, really.
Right.
And
I heard you checked into rehab, that you didn't really need it that badly, but you figured if you check into rehab.
Right, that's true.
They wouldn't get you get off their and then you wouldn't get like targeted.
And by the way, I did the lamest lame addict thing. I wrote a letter and said reply all to everybody like, oh man, I don't know what's going on over here, but apparently somebody wrote fag from my account. I mean, it's such a lie, such a dirty lie. Yeah, I don't know what's going on.
They hacked in.
Yeah, they hacked in.
Anthony Weiner said that. That's right.
So I immediately went to UCLA, went to detox.
Good.
Yeah, just to get it, just because I didn't want it. Because Elton John is super fucking powerful. This guy, his husband.
Yes, if you get on Elton John's wrong side,
right, you're out.
And he starts going around Tom Arnold,
yes,
Jay
Basher.
Fag.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I did not.
Well, wait a minute, Tom.
Yeah.
I got to go back for a second. You had the ileostomy?
Yes.
And you got messed up on drugs again?
Well,
while you were recovering?
Yes, after when they went to seal me up, after I'd been on the wound vac, I had this open wound that had to heal. They took down the ileostomy. I got MRSA in the hospital. So they had to open up this big,
what the hell is MRSA?
MRSA is a horrible staph.
Yeah.
Infection.
A strep infection.
A staph infection.
Staph?
Yeah, it's bad.
Yeah.
It's bad. It's come back since. I had it this summer and they had to cut it. But everything's fine.
Oh,
it's fine. A lot of football players are getting it now, so it's very popular.
You're falling apart, for God's sake.
Yeah, exactly.
You really are.
Exactly.
So, did you bring your son, your new son?
Yes.
To Arnold. Arnold Schwarzenegger is still your best friend, right?
He came to the hospital on day one.
Oh, no kidding.
He is so good with the baby. He's so loving. You can tell he wants one, and he just loves them.
Right.
And then didn't
he just have one with the maid?
But I think it was
that
like
one he didn't really spend that much time with.
Well, you don't know. You don't know that. I promise you, whatever he's doing is the right thing.
Right.
And so we first of all, Ashley would never leave me alone with the baby. She gave me 2 hours one day. I'm with the baby. I'm watching his crib. I'm doing everything right. He's crying, but he's sort of frustrated.
Right.
Like his arms are up, like I'm frustrated with the world. And I just watched. I wanted to take it in. My son is frustrated. I get that. I'm taking it in, and all of a sudden I hear, pick him up. And I'm like, who the fuck is talking to me? She's like, pick him up. I go, where are you? Why? How do you see me? She goes, I'm watching the baby monitor. I'm at Neiman's. I pick him up. I go, why though? So she's watching me in my house
so she's
all
afraid,
the time.
She's afraid to leave you alone with
She was.
Yeah, because you're not the best with kids.
At first, I got very nervous.
Right.
And I would sweat. I would get nervous at night doing the night stuff, and she'd have to come down to towel me down. Right. But now I'm very calm. So 2 weekends ago, I talked her into leaving the house for a weekend, which is the first time she's been away.
Wow.
She went down to Laguna, to the Montage, and I got the first trip, we went over to Arnold's.
Right.
I packed him up. I did all the stuff. I got
Put him in the car seat.
Call Arnold. I'm coming over. He says, come over. It had to be quick. And we pull up, and it's a bunch of bodybuilders are there that day. They're always there. A bunch of bodybuilders.
At his house?
Yeah, they hang around. They're in the front yard, which is unusual, with Rolf Mueller, who's about 6'8", 350, one of the biggest men in the world.
Young bodybuilders.
Younger than him.
They all hang out with Arnold.
And they wear Speedo underwear. Not even Speedos.
Yeah.
But that's what they do.
So wait, you ring the bell. You're there with your kid.
Gate, yeah.
You ring the gate. And then when you go into the house, like it's just a bunch of almost naked guys.
They're actually outside, and they lead me in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're all pumping iron?
They're pumping iron, and they're doing stuff. They're smoking stogies.
In their underwear.
Yeah.
It's so fucking weird. Don't you think that's the... I mean... You know that's a weird scene.
It's weird.
That's a weird scene.
It's a weird scene, but then I thought, well, maybe it's me that's weird. But Jax loved it.
Jax loved it. Jax doesn't know what. Hey, it's a bunch of guys in diapers.
Just like me.
Oh my God! It's the weird. Every time you go to Arnold's, it's so fucking
weird. There was no women, but one guy, Greg Dunn, wears an apron, like he serves Arnold, like he weights on him, and Arnold says it looks more official if he wears it. Like he's not fucking with him, like he's serious.
What is going on over there?
I think he's just trying to live the life, you know. That's what they do.
The life of what? Of a bodybuilder?
Of a king. You know.
Do you feel like compelled to strip down to your underwear, like
No.
in a weird way, like you're the only guy wearing clothes?
No, but he has also.
And Arnold's in his underwear too.
Well, no,
Arnold
he's got
can't be in
short.
his
He doesn't have quite the short shorts.
Right.
And he just had I shouldn't say this, but a little hernia surgery.
Oh, I didn't know
and
that.
so which I had too. The same thing. So we're comparing wounds. And but I didn't know that. And I threw Jax to him, and he's like, oh, you know, it's like motherfucker. God damn it.
It's like the world's strongest man can't even lift a kid
Yeah,
anymore.
but he can't. But you could tell he was struggling, but he did it.
Right.
And he's in great shape, and he's filming action movies all over the fucking world. You know, I'm in the fucking Bulgaria with the goddamn wound.
Yeah.
You know, but he's fantastic, and you can see him with the kid, like he just loves it, and he gets his big meaty fingers on him, and he's bouncing him off the couch. I'm like, holy shit.
What's he doing dating wise? Is he like over the whole Maria divorce and all that?
I don't.
You never bring it up?
No, but we had a fundraiser.
Well,
oh my
this
god!
is a guy who couldn't keep his hands off the maid. He needed it.
Well, I don't know if his hands are
So
on
wait,
him.
you had a fundraiser. You were saying,
Yeah, very nice for his after-school programs, the after-school all-stars, and we're doing this thing where we both get up on the mic, and it's people have paid like $30,000 to play poker in his house, like businessmen, rich dudes.
This is for charity.
Yeah, it's for charity. It's all official, and then we start going back and forth in front of people, and he, you know, fucking, this is the man that boned Roseanne, you know. And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? And Maria's pictures, like there's an Andy Warhol, right the fucking, she's like staring at us, right? I don't have my goddamn ex-wife's pictures all over my fucking house, weirdo.
That is weird.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, so anyway, we start this, and it gets really mean between two of us, and the businessmen are stunned.
Right.
Because they were like, what the fuck is going on? And then it's back to normal. But that's sort of what we do. We do our little...
You go at each
thing.
other.
Yeah, go at each other.
You're like an old
Do
married
you
couple.
joke about the maid with him?
No, that you don't joke about.
No.
Right.
I know, but there's a lot of looks. I have to say that.
Yeah.
I go, you should have...
Hey, you know what? Stranger things can happen. There have been rumors that Arnold and Maria will get back together. I mean, I don't know.
I would love, you know, that's your hope. You know, I want him to be happy. I want her to be happy. I would, if I was her, I'd be dating.
Right.
That's just my opinion, because that would fire things up a little bit.
Right.
And I know Bobby Kennedy said the same thing a couple weeks ago on TV. That, you know, he's trying to find somebody for her. And I know the family is, because she's a beautiful woman.
Right, yeah.
She could date like a younger guy.
Right.
That would fire Arnold up.
Right.
You know, get that out of her system. You know, seriously, that's what she should do.
Yeah, because he needs to be jealous a little bit.
Right.
Right.
But then again, he probably like it. He's like, let's get that motherfucker over here.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, you know, it's so funny. Like Arnold is such an interesting guy.
He is.
Like you go over there and like guys are all like shaved down in their underpants, and like that seems like such like it's almost like that's what you'd expect at Elton John's house.
Right. Though it's very similar. And even if you read his books, it's all about going in the forest with these guys and getting some meat, and we're naked and we rub each other down. You know.
Yeah.
He has a product that I'm involved with called Muscle Farm.
Right.
And it's the first time he's ever put his name on a fitness supplement product.
Right.
And so we're pumping that up.
You guys are working on it together.
Yes. Yeah. My
It's
brother.
interesting. It's unbelievable. But you know, you talk about your life. Sometimes I think you have the most interesting life out of anyone in Hollywood. I was looking at. You ended up in rehab at one point with Lindsay Lohan.
Yes.
And you said something remarkable.
What?
That she has her own tanning bed.
Well,
in
here's
rehab.
the thing. In rehab, let me just explain it. And Lindsay has been very open about this, so I don't want to
You're not telling anything.
I'm not telling anything. I wouldn't do that. It's inappropriate. They have the regular rehab, then they have the medical unit at this place we're talking about. And I was in the medical unit because I had this open wound and this wound back. And then she moved in next door to me in the medical unit. And I said, well, what's her medical thing? And they go, well, she brought her tanning bed. So she had to be hooked up to the special electricity. Jesus. That's for real.
Oh, my
Why would they allow that in a... This is in the rehab.
Yes. It's in a real, legitimate rehab.
But I thought like going into rehab... I don't know anything about rehab. But I don't know the process by how someone gets sober.
Yes.
But like it would seem to me that you're supposed to be humble in there and not worry about your personal appearance all that much. Like the best thing for her would be to get out of the fucking tanning bed for a few weeks.
I think it's the idea of getting... Sometimes you got to get people in there.
Right.
And I noticed that they were sort of breaking... They're doing that with me, too.
Right.
Getting me out of my room, getting me to go to the meetings. I was very ashamed because at the time I had a colostomy bag and this wound vac machine attached to me.
You don't
but
feel
eventually
like being
I got
around
out.
people.
Yeah, you don't want to be around people, and you don't want to go to the groups and everything. But I saw her start going and participating, and then her fucking dad showed up there out by the gate and was protesting. And she's in the middle of doing great work on herself, trying to get well.
Strong.
And her crazy fucking dad is down by the gate.
Right.
So, it's just so weird.
Yeah. You must have seen it all, man.
Yes.
It's unbelievable.
Yes.
But the tanning
You've
bed is.
got several books.
She's
in
not
you,
taking.
right?
Yeah. You got to write the book.
I got to write another book.
You got to write another
Yeah,
book.
I
You got to
do.
write another 5 books.
Yes.
But I mean, it is crazy how everything happens around you.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
Like you're there.
Yeah. She didn't really have a tan either.
Right.
She's sort of light skinned.
Yeah,
I know
I've
that's what I
seen
thought
that.
was weird.
Yeah. Like I've seen her in pictures. She doesn't look all that tan.
No.
What the fuck could that be?
I don't know.
And what does it cost to bring a tanning bed into a hospital?
That's true, but she brought it from home, so it's something that travels with her.
It's her
Pretty
bed.
crazy.
Yeah.
So you're doing a new movie.
Yes, I
That's
did.
what you're promoting.
Yes.
You got this movie called Jutopia.
Yes.
Which sounds very anti-Semitic.
That's what
Zootopia.
the reviewers say.
Yeah. Oh, they
Yeah,
do.
the critics. Yeah.
The critics have said it's anti-Semitic.
Yes, but let me just say they're not Jewish.
Right.
So no, it's fun. It's about Jewish women, I think, a lot, and it was an off-Broadway play.
I like when you review your own movie and you go, I think it's about.
No.
Yeah, don't you
I have
know?
my
Have
notes
you
here.
seen the movie?
I have seen. I did
Then
watch
why
it.
do you have to have notes about the movie?
Well, because I want to tell you the history. It's an off-Broadway play, the longest-running one ever.
Okay.
That these guys, Brian Fogel and this other guy named Sam Wolfson, they created it. Brian directs it. It's great. It's got a great cast of white. I'm in it a little bit.
Yeah.
Cameron Manheim and I are parents to Jamie Lynn Sigler.
Wait, Cameron Manheim plays your wife.
Yes.
So do you make love to her?
I mean, I suppose off camera, but not on.
But not on.
Not
iPhone.
on.
I would.
I would
you know
pay
what?
to see that.
I find her very. There's something about her that's very not sexual, but she's the kind of gal that you feel like you could wrestle at any moment,
Right.
and that's kind of sexual to me.
Is it?
I know you got to be there. It's like Rhea Perlman. Many years ago, I did a movie with Rhea Perlman called Carpool, and one day she came up to me and started just tearing me a new asshole because I was late.
Right.
And she was like, and I was the star of the movie, and she was like, God damn it, I got to get on a plane, go see my kids, and she was just tearing me an asshole, and all of a sudden something struck me like. This woman is fucking sexy, man. There's something about her.
Do you think that was Roseanne's appeal to you? Do you think why, in a way, you were so attracted to her because she's a large woman who was like very forceful and would boss the shit out of you?
I don't think it was the size, although a lot of the women I grew up with are big.
Yeah.
Her confidence, the fact she would boss the shit out of anybody. It's not just me.
Right.
And she had total confidence in her body. Like she was at the Miss Universe pageant performing like in the 80s.
Yeah.
And she came out on stage with a bikini on. Like, holy fuck. I know it looked terrible, but the fact that she had the balls to fucking do that.
That turned you on.
Well, I just was like, this, it does turn you on.
I mean, because your wife now is so demure.
Yes,
and
she
she's,
is.
I see.
Yeah, but
you-
she's tough. She breaks my balls.
When you were trying to get her pregnant, wasn't she going to psychics and all that shit?
Yes.
Lighting candles?
Yes.
Did that drive you crazy? Because you know that's all bullshit.
I know.
Right?
I know
mean,
it
you
is.
So what do you do when she
It is.
starts doing all of
But,
that?
at first I fought it. But she was literally going to 9 different people and like this rabbi psychic and this whatever and this, and we had this room full of statues and candles. But then I thought, well, this is what she holds on to. This is like her AA.
Right.
This is what calms her down. And so Mike Myers, I did a movie called Superbench, and Mike directed it. And it's about Chef Gordon. It's a documentary. It's great. And about last year he called me and said, I'm sending, and I hope this is appropriate. He said, stay on the phone with me for a minute. I'm sending you some green energy, and you're going to have a baby. And I thought, all this shit I've done with Ashley, I'll stay on the phone with Mike.
Right.
And so I sat there and I
You
said,
should have hung up.
Well, I kept saying, am I still getting it? Because it was a
Right.
long pause.
Right.
He goes, just a second, a little more. And so I got it, and literally a week later we found out we were pregnant. So Mike Myers, green
So wait,
energy.
you're on the phone with him. He says, I'm going to send you green energy.
And I said, good, great. He goes, no, you got to stay on the phone.
Is everyone in Hollywood crazy?
Yeah.
I mean, because to me, Mike Myers is such a brilliant comic and such an astute observer of humankind. And yet there he is in his personal life talking about green energy.
I know,
Was
but
he
it makes
serious
no
or was
sense.
it a joke?
Oh my God, was he serious? And you know what? I bought into it because it worked for him.
my God.
He's got, his life is way together now,
Right.
But I thought, well, I'll stay on the phone with him. Like how long? I didn't know when the green energy was done coming.
And he's quiet when he's giving you
yeah,
green
he's
energy?
quiet, and I tried to get off. He's like, no, we're not done. I go, okay, let me.
How long were you on the line receiving green energy?
Probably 6 long minutes.
Quiet?
Quiet, I know. And it was weird because I love Mike Myers, so I want to do what he wants me to do.
Right.
But I also want to receive the green energy. And so I was like, okay. And he's totally sincere. That's the thing.
Yeah.
So I don't want to, the fact that he took 6 minutes to send me green energy means a lot to me.
Oh, and did you say to him, listen, Mike, no offense, but I've never heard of green energy. What is it?
Well, I didn't want, I pretended I had because I don't want to seem stupid.
Yeah,
so I was like, yeah, I got the green energy.
But a lot of people in Hollywood think that they're healers. And
Right.
like Travolta supposedly now with the Scientology, he thinks he's a healer.
Right, but that's his in. That's like us guys. I'm good at back rubs or head scratches.
Yeah.
But he wants to get laid. But it's also. But I have had men tell me that he has not had sex with, that he helped heal them.
That really?
Yes.
That John Travolta. You think Travolta is saying he's a healer because he wants to get his hands on?
Well, I think subconsciously we always do that. I love John Travolta.
But
he's
maybe
one of my heroes.
Right, but maybe it's a messiah complex too. You know?
Right, exactly.
But it seems like everybody wants superpowers. I mean, Mike Myers doesn't have any green energy.
He might.
you know?
He might. I believe. I
Have
don't
you
know.
looked into green energy?
No, I'm not even sure what it is.
Yeah.
But I tell you,
Do you want some green energy? I can give it to you.
Exactly. But
can
it
send
made me
it too.
feel like with Ashley, I could say I also did this crazy thing. Mike gave me green energy.
Right. Well,
so
she
I'm
was going to.
participating.
She went to psychics. and
Like she
stuff.
would go.
And
like,
that's expensive.
very expensive, and you got to buy the candles, and there's certain candles for certain things, and then she gets her whole family involved.
By the way, Jax doesn't look like any of these psychics, does he?
No.
Just a little bit, like one of them.
I have to say that he does look so much like me, and I wouldn't have cared if he
I
didn't.
heard that, yeah.
But there would have been a moment where, and we were talking about this last night, I said, even if you had used somebody else's sperm, okay, even if you had, it would be okay, and you could tell me. And then she's like, no, I would never tell you. I go, but you didn't, right? She goes, no, I didn't, but I would never. I go, but I would like to know. I'm just so happy. So she goes, people are probably saying that because he does look a little like, he could. So all babies look like Arnold.
But when yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But I love that story. How you used to go over to Arnold's house and you'd see the maid there, and sometimes the kid, her kid would be there, and you'd say, and you'd tease Arnold and say, "Hey, Arnold, that kid looks just like you," and then he'd hold you aside and say, "Hey, shut the fuck up."
Yeah.
Hey, only you.
Yeah, but I didn't know. I didn't know.
You
and
know
the lesson is, if you got something going, you tell your buddies, so they don't make jokes.
Would you go home and say even to your wife, like, Jesus, there's this kid the maid has that looks exactly like Arnold?
I mean, everybody that's seen pictures on the internet and
it's identical twin.
Yeah. So everybody would say, no, I never thought that really happened, but subconsciously it's something. The funny bone kept getting tickled, so I kept saying stuff. You know how you dig your friends the little things, and it turned out to be more of a big thing. And
are you the kind of guy in your house? Do you have a lot of posters and things of your movie career and different moments in your career?
No.
I picture Arnold does. You know what I mean?
Well, he's got statues of himself, like famous artists sculpted him.
Yeah.
So but there's a lot. There's picture. He's on top of a mountain, and there's a lot. It's like an unusual.
Like Zeus.
Like there's not a room for it. It's the whole house is for it.
Wow.
And they're all fabulous.
Because like the statues are up.
Yes.
Then you see a guy in his underpants walking around, and then one has an apron
oiled
on.
down. Yes.
Oiled down in their underpants.
Yes.
And statues of men. It is kind of weird. Thank God for the pictures of Maria Shriver all over the house.
That
At
is
least
true.
It adds a feminine touch.
But he also feels like, I think that's art.
Yeah.
Andy Warhol did this, whatever. And it is. It's a very macho house now.
Yes.
And it's even hard to get because there's gates and people.
Does
and
he have a firing range there? Any kind of guns?
He has a huge. You could play like polo. He has a polo field.
He does?
Yeah.
Does he play polo on it?
I don't think so. I think he watches people play polo.
Wow.
Like he likes to set up stuff and get the stands. They have bleachers, and then he'll watch people do stuff.
Wow.
And whether it be boxing, he has his guys fight each other and do stuff. And
It's all the same. Do the guys sleep over, or do they?
I don't know. I think there's a room. There's a separate house, but there's like a lot of dudes in it.
Yeah.
And they come out when you pull up. They all kind of scamper out.
I don't think I could handle it.
Right.
I mean, it's too like sort of ultra masculine with people boxing. And,
right.
You know what I mean? It's like that's not me, man.
Yeah, and his gym is like if Johnny Versace had a gym.
Right.
It doesn't look like a gym at a gym place.
It's beautiful.
It's got beautiful art and ornate and big, beautiful paintings of his parents. It's like there's not like muscle stuff. It's like a real personal place for him.
It's like it's because listen,
Versailles.
That's the thing that made him working out. You know.
The greatest ever.
Right. Is there a big sign, no girls allowed in the gym?
No. I think he's just, I know there are women that come over and they participate in the sunning and the lifting and the stuff. That does happen. He's not lonely.
Right,
I mean,
right.
you know, he's got a bunch
He has
of
female companionship.
He does.
That's what I was
Yeah.
trying to
Absolutely.
allude
Oh my gosh,
to.
but I don't
Like,
think
He's
he
Arnold
has his
Schwarzenegger.
needs.
He's Arnold Schwarzenegger.
He does have a lot of needs. That is true.
Yeah, he has tremendous sex drive.
He
I
does.
I feel it keeps him young. You know,
Yes.
like testosterone and
Yes.
fucking and and doing outdoors work.
Orgasms.
Yeah, orgasms
Yes.
and them
And
coming.
he believes that's all part of the fitness. Five times a day, as he says, is a good number.
Wow.
For having
Really?
lovemaking. Yes.
Yeah.
And a lot of women won't do that.
No.
5 times a day. So it becomes this quandary.
Is he in good shape? Because sometimes
Yeah, he's in good shape.
they love getting pictures of him on the beach where
Right.
he's naked and
Right.
and
he's flabby.
He's flabby,
But he's flabby for like him, but not for. But no, he's in great shape now. He's filming. He just did The Expendables 3.
Right.
He's got a really great movie called 10 coming out by David Ayers. That did.
Did he ever train you physically?
Yeah. Well, the first time. When I
Yeah.
first met him, we were doing True Lies.
Right.
He would have me come over, and then it got so because he made so many comments in an appropriate way.
Right.
But I don't. Him looking over my shoulder is like actually looking over my shoulder with the baby.
Right.
You know, you get frustrated.
Is it hard to have sex when you're trying to have a baby that hard? I mean, like it stops becoming sexual.
Are you ready? Yeah.
Well, you know, you have to go to the clinic at 6 or 7 a.m. and jerk off. That's the hardest part.
Right.
There is one thing after the baby was born because she had a C-section.
Yeah.
We didn't because she was hurting. We didn't have lovemaking.
Right.
And then her dad had a stroke and then she had to take care of that. And then I had this wound and she wanted to make love because I had a staph infection. And so we realized on Friday that I was coming here, and we hadn't made love since before the baby was born.
You're talking 6 months, maybe, right?
Yeah, over 6 months.
Wow.
And there's been a couple times I mentioned it, and it's when I had my wound, and she's like, "Get real, come on."
Right.
And
she doesn't want to go near because she's afraid she can get the infection.
Right, the staph infection, which is like whatever.
Yeah, I don't even want to go near you. With
No,
your
I'm
staph.
fine. It's
Yeah.
all cured.
Yeah.
But and she had the baby tested immediately, so she found out because she's freaking. But he's fine. So Friday night, I said we just have to. I'm going to be on Howard, and we have to do because I don't want to say I didn't make love to my. So. We did it. You know, it's like one of those deals. All right, let's do it.
Right.
You know, she goes, "Oh, will I hurt you because of your abdomen?" I mean, no, it's gonna be fine. And the thing I realized is my wife is so fucking sexy. I forgot about that.
Right.
Like usually when you just have to do it to have a baby, you have to think of other women.
You forgot about her as a sexual
I know
sexual
she is
person.
smoking. I mean,
I've seen her. She's hot.
Yeah, and I've been missing out on that.
Right.
But when you have to do it to make a baby, you have to think of all kinds of. You have to squint and pretend the swan on the wall is a vagina.
Yeah.
And you have to do all these weird things, and you
And
think
this was just for fucking sake.
Yeah.
This is for romance.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was probably nice.
It
huh?
was great. I did. My hips are a little. The outside of my hips
So
are
what did you
very
do?
sore.
You didn't come for 6 months, or did you jerk off?
I did it. I jerked off,
You
but
jerked
not
off.
like I used to.
Right.
You know,
No,
I
you're
just
a dad
would pace
now.
myself.
Yeah.
But by the way, if you have a small penis, not jerking off makes it a little bit bigger because you're sort of almost ready to be aroused at all times.
Yeah.
So I think about that too.
Right.
Because I want to be. You get that half sort of a boner.
See, I got a small penis, and I always think if I jerk off, like it'll start to stretch a little.
That's what I agree with that part too.
Right.
By just yanking on it, literally pulling it like a muscle.
Yeah, constant usage might make it stretch out a little bit.
A guy that Arnold knows put a dumbbell on his penis and would sit on that chair, and there's a hole in the chair, and then he stretched his penis out with a dumbbell. He thought that worked.
And did it work?
He ended up having a rupture in his penis, and he had to have a surgery.
Yeah, people do crazy things.
Yeah, it was a terrible thing.
Oh my! Did Arnold laugh at that?
Yeah, he thought it was hilarious. He encouraged it.
Oh my God, what a life! Well, the new movie is called
Jutopia.
Jutopia.
Yeah, you could see it on demand. It's on iTunes. Courtney Mizell produced it. This great producer, Tucker Tooley. They're wonderful. Jennifer Love Hewitt is in it. Wendy Malick.
She look?
She looked good. She looks great.
She looks. What's that, Robin?
He's got notes. He doesn't remember.
Well, I don't want to let anybody
know.
down. Andy Lovitz is
What
in
is this?
it.
The Academy Awards? You actually wrote it. No, you
Rita
can use
Wilson,
your notes.
Rita Wilson is in it. She's great.
Tom
right?
Hanks' wife.
That's right.
Yeah. You
She
didn't know
doesn't
that?
even have to work, but she does, and she's
Right, she
funny.
loves it. She
and
loves
she's
it.
kind of nasty too.
Is
I
she?
like it. Yeah.
Well, she says bad things to you.
Well, she's just there's
Are
something
people just nasty
sexy
to you?
about her.
Do you ever think it's you? Do you ever think it's like
I
you're-
always think it's me. I always think
I
it's
think
me.
you're the nicest guy, but maybe
Yeah.
you're annoying. drinking or something.
I try not to be.
Right.
You know, and I go to those parties, and I'm like, oh my god.
I always liked you on that sports show.
I loved doing that sports show.
Yeah, and then they fired you?
Well, they couldn't afford to do it because nobody was watching.
Oh, it got canceled.
It got canceled. But now they have a new network, Fox Sports 1, and maybe I'll get back on there.
Yeah, I always liked you on that. I think you're terrific.
I loved doing that. I loved it.
You were terrific.
It's great.
Tom Arnold, in addition to being a new father, is also in Jutopia, which is in select theaters and video on demand now. And as Tom says, Jennifer Love Hewitt, cameraman, I'm very sexy, very, very powerful.
Very sexy. Peter Stomari.
I don't even know what he said.
A lot of things were said.
Yeah. Nicolette Sheridan is in it, I think.
Nicolette Sheridan.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, I used to.
This movie, just get it.
Really?
It's amazing.
And you say it's anti-Semitic. I like anti-Semitic movies.
Yes. Well, it's not. It's
you say Hitler's favorite movie, Jutopia.
But it also makes fun of, like Jewish women when they order food.
Right.
They can never just fucking order food. I know Ashley can.
Yeah.
They send it back. They go to vaginabeautiful.com, and that's our site that has the trailer.
Jutopia is vaginabeautiful.com.
Because I play a vagina doctor in it.
Oh.
So I do
gynecologist.
Vagina
doctor.
But I specialize in vaginal
You would never know
rejuvenation.
he just had a baby.
Yeah.
I mean, a vagina doctor.
Well, but I specialize in vaginal rejuvenation.
Oh, yeah.
So that's why. So vaginabeautiful.com is a great site.
Right.
And you can see everything about the movie.
How you doing with Rosanna? You guys friends again?
You know what?
I heard you had a Twitter feud.
You know what? We did have a Twitter feud. It was I had tweeted something innocuous, which was, I cleaned out my garage. I hope does Goodwill want 25 remote controls, old phone chargers, and my wedding videos, my old wedding videos.
Right. You meant it as a joke.
A joke. A day later, she writes back, "What the fuck is wrong with you? Like, seriously?"
On Twitter.
Yes.
Right.
In front of
so
everybody.
the whole world can read.
Yeah. I write back, well, you can still buy it. It's $1 if you want the videos. Then she writes, "My goddamn kids are in those videos, whatever." She didn't realize it was a
joke.
Right.
Yeah.
It went back and forth, back and forth.
And by the way, you've been, how many times you've been married?
4.
Yeah. So you have a lot of old wedding
That's what
videos.
I said.
It's not even
Why do you think
necessarily
it's
her.
you? It's not about you.
It's very narcissistic.
So it went back and forth, and now people are joining on, and it's live, and finally, she finally realized it was a joke.
Right.
And then it was ugly, and then she said, "How's the baby?" And then we had this sort of weird talk about how cute my baby was.
This was all on Twitter.
Yes. But the best thing that happened...
You too.
She wrote me, tweeted me, direct message a week ago, and this meant the world to me, I have to say. She asked me to read her script and put notes on her script that she's doing for NBC.
Right.
Which is the biggest honor. Yeah. Which is such an honor considering...
Roseanne's coming back to sitcoms?
Yes.
That's big news.
Yes. But the fact that she would ask me to, after all we've been through, it meant so much to me.
Did you make notes?
She hasn't sent it. But the fact that she asked me, I'm sure it's a 3-step process.
Right.
I said to her, this means so much to me. I remember in 1986 when you read my first script and how my spine was tingling.
You worked on Roseanne. It was a big deal.
Yes, it was good. We were good at that.
Right.
We were really good at that stuff.
Yeah, so maybe that's it. Maybe you'll go work on her show. That would be amazing.
That would be amazing. No, but I want to do that.
Yeah.
That'd be great. That's a big compliment.
Well, let's just say Tom Arnold's career is on fire. He's performing stand-up comedy.
I am, and I'll be at Stanford & Sons in Kansas City in November, like the 14th or 17th, but something there.
I saw you on Sons of Anarchy.
Yes, Sons of Anarchy.
You were very good in that.
Did that, a lot of stuff.
You will also be over at Arnold Schwarzenegger's
I'll be at Arnold Schwarzenegger's house.
Underwear.
But
Dax
not
Shepard.
in the Speedos.
Not in Speedos. I will not wear the Speedos.
Tom also now possesses Green Energy.
I do from Mike Myers.
From Mike Myers, he received Green Energy.
Superman is a great documentary.
Do you think you could have another baby on this Green Energy?
That's what we're doing. We're working on that now because we feel Ashley's body is right where it needs to be.
And you are right where it needs to be.
That's true.
That's true.
That's true.
Once you have one, sometimes all of a sudden everything just loosens up.
Yeah.
Right.
He's over at Arnold's house.
Yes,
I heard you guys, your favorite thing to do with each other is to tell racist jokes.
No, it's sometimes people are accidentally sort of racist.
Right.
We were doing a thing for Muscle Farm down at Muscle Beach last week, and we're making a speech about this is fantastic. It's the first time I've done these projects. And I said, tell me what it's like 40 years ago in front of the press. I said, you came here, you and Franco Columbo, this very spot. You started it all right here on this spot. He goes, we came to Muscle Beach. We did like 5 hours at Gould's and then 5 hours at World Gym. But we came here to get some sun for an hour, to get the sun, to get the tan. And, and there's a giant black bodybuilder next to him. And he goes, of course, you people don't have to worry about that. And it was live. I was like, that is so funny. Just the way he said, you people.
Yeah, right.
You know, and then
he's funny.
It's funny. And then the guy laughed. And then I thought he gave me that look, that twinkle, like we're gonna keep this going,
right?
Like we would in private. And I was like, oh my God, what is this in public? But he's got that twinkle in his eye because he's so funny,
right?
And just sometimes because even Joe Weider created all these projects. He was Arnold's mentor. He gave Arnold his career. And Arnold speaking, I never had my own products before Muscle Farm because I promised Joe Weider for his whole life I will never have my own products. Well, Joe is dead. yeah.
I remember that. Joe Weider had an empire.
He was, he did amazing things.
He was a big backer. He backed Arnold.
He did back Arnold. He just passed away recently.
Well,
sad.
I could bullshit with you all day.
Thank
I'll
you.
tell you that.
It's great fun.
Tom Arnold, Jutopia. He claims you should see this.
It's so fun, and so many people worked on it, and it's been around for so long. Please check it out. Get on there.
It's in select theaters.
It's in select theaters and
video on demand.
Video, VOD, iTunes, all those different things that they have. Amazon, it's just great.
How many notes do you have?
I have these are all about Utopia, and there's one that says, "Do
you have an assistant?"
Apologize to Elton John's husband.
Right. Do you have an assistant? Because you should type those notes out.
I do. I know. I will next time.
Okay.
I left them on the plane. I had them sort of organized,
right.
And then I was on the plane last night, and I left them. So,
do you want to take a look at them? Make sure you got there.
Well, VaginaBeautiful.com. I mean, that says it all. You could get,
And for more information, go to JutopiaMovie.com. Okay.
Oh, that's true. You could do that also.
All right.
Yes, but it's been great. And then, baby class. I don't need to talk about that. But anyway, I go to the baby classes with him, and that's so fun.
Who?
With Jax.
Oh, you do?
That's why my wife.
Dax?
No, Jax, my boy. Oh, just me and him.
Oh, the two of you?
Yeah. When we went Friday, I think that's why my wife and I made love, because I'm sitting there, I'm the only guy, and there's these beautiful wives, and I'm not looking at them.
Right.
But they've all got their babies. I kind of do what they do, and we're all sitting. We're spread eagle on the mat.
Right.
You have to take your shoes off. And I accidentally looked at one of the beautiful wives because her thing was up, and she saw me looking and gave me that "you're a creep" look.
Yeah.
And she pulled her shirt down over her knees. And so I was telling Ashley about this that night, and I said, they're very attractive, whatever. And I started thinking, wait, my wife's attractive.
Right.
And that started so that's what I got out of that class. But they put the baby.
What?
This class.
You mean you had to leave your baby class because you were looking at the women?
No, I didn't have to, but I accidentally looked at them, and then I went home and was explaining it.
Were people upset with you that you were looking at them? Maybe?
I hope they don't think I'm a creep, because they're so much younger and more beautiful. I hope they don't.
Right.
But,
poor you. You're so tortured.
Yes. Yeah. Well, it's also a class. It's called Out of the Box. And you put your baby in spaghetti. Like they have a giant pool of pasta. And I said to my wife, that looks stupid. I'm not doing that. But, man, he gets in there.
Right.
And he just goes crazy. All these other babies go crazy. And they're having so much fun. And they're throwing stuff at each other. And it's just such a joy.
Too bad you can't stay there because of the MILFs.
Well, no, I can say it, but I just want to make it clear. I'm here as a dad. I'm not here as a Tom Arnold or a weird dude looking at you.
Right. Okay, fair enough.
I try to be appropriate.
Tom, I'm very excited about everything going on.
Everything is
I
great,
really
Howard.
am. Jutopia, I'm very excited about
Oh, my
seeing
gosh,
that.
of course. You're going to love it.
And please send me those pictures of Dr. Hakaka.
Oh, my gosh, she's so beautiful. And she's a great doctor. Number one, she is a wonderful woman and doctor, and Dax has video, too.
I love that you guys are taking pictures of the gynecologist.
It does sound creepy now that we say it.
Yeah, right.
And I hope she's not offended, but she's certainly a great woman.
You love her.
Yeah, she's,
right.
Oh, my gosh.
All right, listen, you've said a lot.
Yes.
You've said a lot.
It's been great.
And I thank you for that.
Thank you for having me.
Eric, the actor, just wants to say a quick hello to you. He's a fan of yours.
Oh, my gosh.
Yes, Eric.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I was wondering, is the big redneck vacation coming back on CMT?
That's a good question, Eric. I don't know for sure if it's coming back. That's a show we had on CMT, and we had Riley Martin on it.
Right.
Remember that weird show?
Yes.
Oh,
I don't know if it
yeah.
is. I hope so, but we'd love to have you on there.
Yeah, as an
For real.
actor, would you tell Eric that it's okay to play gay characters?
I 100%. I mean, I played pedophiles. Come on. That's taking it one step beyond.
Explain to Eric that we know you're not a pedophile.
Exactly.
If you play one.
Right, absolutely.
And nobody thinks you are.
I feel, Eric, I root for you. I want you to do well in this business. But playing a gay character it doesn't. You got to, you have to do it. I know Chuck Zito came to one of my shows recently and said, I would never play a gay character either.
He won't. Well, he can't. He's got a
That's
whole
true.
image. He's like an action hero.
But it would be great if he did. It would be great if Arnold did.
Right.
It'd be great if Arnold played a Nazi. How great would that be?
It would be fantastic.
Because we know he's not a Nazi.
Right.
But yet people have said that because where he's from.
He's sensitive.
And he could win an Oscar.
Right.
A gay Nazi.
Eric, Do you hear what Tom is
You
saying?
need to do it. You need to do things that are not you. Do the hard things. You're not gay.
Eric, what do you say to that? Are you inspired?
I will take it into consideration.
Wow.
That's very nice, because I'd love to work with
I'd
Eric.
love to see him as a gay.
Well, we have a part for Eric
I
if he
know.
would play gay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I know.
Well,
But
maybe he'll do it now.
But I thought you made the Jeff the Drunk the gay part. You worked it all
No,
out.
it turned out that
Oh my
Jeff doesn't
God.
want to switch now.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I have to say a compliment to you, Paul McCartney. You know, so wonderful, that interview. And you're such a fan, and I love that.
I love
that
it.
you could be a fan of somebody.
Yes. Oh, please. I'm a fan of a lot of people.
I know, but yeah, I know that.
Yeah, no.
And we're
how can you not love Paul McCartney, right?
No, I mean, he's unfucking believable. But then after he left, Robin started talking about a guy that put his dick in a toaster.
Yes.
And the way you segued into that and sort of rebooted,
Right.
you went from, man, I love Paul McCartney, and he's so wonderful, he's here, and then...
Well,
the guy
that's
with
the
dick-
beauty of the show.
That is
we,
the
you know,
beauty of the show.
we can tank at one thing, but then
Yeah.
maybe come back on another. You
Yeah.
know, there's something for everybody.
Yeah, there really
right.
is.
Like for a while, I was sincere, and
Yeah,
and then all of a sudden,
Yes,
it's about a guy
yes.
and his dick and the
Yes,
toaster.
yeah.
It's pretty weird.
And
how
you were sincere talking about that, too. You're wondering, why did they do that?
Why can't you be into both things?
Right, exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
Equally.
Exactly.
All right, look. You've said a lot.
Yes.
Probably too much.
Probably.
I'm sure you've said something that somebody's upset about.
Yes.
But I love it.
Thank you.
And Tom Arnold, I'm a huge fan.
Thank you. I'm a huge
and I
fan.
wish you the best.
Thank you.
And you got a lot of good projects coming up.
I do.
And Utopia, I think, is going to be a smash.
Man, it's going to be a smash.
Smash.
You know,
And I would next time try and know something about the film that you're in.
Yeah, well, no, it's good. I did watch it.
I know.
And I love the other people in it.
Right. Oh, I know.
It's hard to watch it myself.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. We'll be back. Thanks,
Thank
Tom.
you.
Thank you for coming in.
Thank you, everybody.
We'll be back right after. And Eric, thank you.
Thank you, Eric.
Okay. Have a good day.
Okay. Oh, my gosh. Oh, is he okay?
He's okay.
I'm going to work with him. I'll take it. You know what? He needs a 12-step meeting, just for whatever.
Right.
You know, I mean, he doesn't.
Not that he has a problem.
No, but you know,
He's just got issues.
He's got issues. Yeah, get him in there with the guys at Men's Stag.
It's great.
You know, tuck him up.
Still haven't been drinking, huh?
No.
You don't think about it?
No, I mean, I think about. I see people, you know, having a margarita once in a while and go, "What would that be like?"
I cut way down.
Like a normal person.
See, I can drink it's not an issue for me because like now I just drink Perrier while everyone's
Right.
drinking.
Right.
And then I go, okay, I'll have a
That's what I
glass of
do.
one.
That's right.
Well,
Plus,
that's
I
why
don't
you're
want to.
not an alcoholic.
Yeah.
Right. That's a big difference. Plus, I don't want to drink one. If I do something, I want to get fucked up.
Right.
No matter
Right.
what it is, whether it be food or drugs or booze. So there's no point in.
David
you know,
Arquette went back to drinking.
I saw that.
What'd you think of that? Hey, listen.
Whatever he does, I don't judge whatever works for him.
Right.
You know, and sometimes people have a problem with drugs, and then they stop everything.
Right.
And then later on down, they realize, well, I could have had just a beer, but I probably shouldn't do heroin. And I'm not, you know, it's better if you don't do anything. It's easier.
Right.
But you know, I'm going to have to tell my kid one day, Jax, listen, you're probably, you know, you might be an alcoholic just because your father is.
Right.
Here's what I was going through. I hope you're not. You know, I'm going to tell him about that. I'm going to tell him about the child abuse that I went through. I'm going
You
to
are?
say,
Don't you think that might scare him?
well, I want to talk to him about when people touch him, you know, like with me when I went into the
Yeah, you're
the
probably
neighborhood.
overly nervous about
Yeah,
that. Yeah.
yeah, but I also don't go into a dude's house and hang
Right.
out and play
Yeah.
games with a fucking
Yeah,
adult.
The guy with all the kids' toys, don't go to his
Yeah.
house.
If you want to play games, play with
Yeah.
your dad.
And,
Right.
and if it hurts, he hurt you.
Right.
You know, because kids are like, well, did he hurt me? Did I whatever? If you let me decide if somebody hurt
Well,
you.
this is
son.
a good discussion. to
That's a
have.
good decision.
I agree with that.
Not when he's too young,
Right.
you know, and not the drugs and alcohol when he's too young, but just to say, you know, be careful, keep your eyes open.
Right.
Whatever.
I think that's a wise thing.
Yeah.
You see
Yeah,
that?
the thing you're supposed to say is when you feel uncomfortable, you're uncomfortable. Come to me.
Right.
What if he says,
Before
well,
anything
I'm
happens.
uncomfortable with Tom?
Well, that's the thing.
Yeah.
That's my
Go to
biggest
your mother.
My biggest fear is that he's not going to like me. You know.
Listen, Tom, he probably won't, but so
That's
what?
true.
Who cares?
That's true.
Odds are they don't
That's
like
true.
you.
I had one moment where
my.
last week he was on the bed with me and the dog was on the bed, this little dog, and I saw him slowly reach over to the dog's face and the dog snapped him.
Right.
And it didn't break its blood or anything, but he looked at me before he started crying like, what the fuck? You're supposed to protect me.
Right.
And then he started crying,
Right.
and that broke my fucking heart because
Right.
I am supposed to protect him.
Right. Well,
So-
you know, like, your father can't protect you from everything.
Right.
That's what also you can't live up to that expectation.
Right.
Are you in therapy so that you'll learn to be a better father?
Oh, yeah.
You are, of course.
Yeah, I'm doing all that stuff.
How many times a week are you doing that?
Going out just once.
I figure 5, 6, 7
Yeah,
times.
yeah. Well, we've had therapists.
day.
We've had people people in the house giving us seminars. So, yeah.
Sounds like around-the-clock meetings going on.
Yeah, a lot
lessons.
A lot of lessons.
The Sleepy Time people have been over, and then the lady from the Spaghetti
What is
Bowl.
Sleepy Time? Is that?
That's I think that's the name of it. They're very famous baby sleeping people, and
they teach you how to put your kid to bed.
Yeah,
because a lot of people don't know how to do it.
It's horrible.
I know.
Letting the kid cry.
That's tough.
It is the worst thing in the world. But you do it. You do it for 5 minutes, and then 10 minutes,
and then the kid learns how to go to sleep.
Hopefully, yeah.
A lot of people don't have the inner strength for that.
Right. It's brutal.
All right.
You need fortitude.
Constantly learning. Tom Arnold, Jutopia, select theaters, video on demand now. Go to jutopiamovie.com.
Thank you very much, you guys.
And we'll be back right after these words.
Thank you.
Yes.
So, Tom, I like how you brought notes with you today. Did you hit everything on the... I was going to ask you if you did.
I think I did. The producers and stuff from that movie were like going crazy. You wanted to make sure I hit everything. You could see vaginabeautiful.com. Here's the name of some of the actors, in case I forgot it. Longest running Broadway play. Elton John's husband. I wanted to apologize to him. That's basically all I had. And I'm going to get it typed up next time, like Howard said. Get them organized.
Now, you mentioned before the interview that sometimes you have to do some apologizing and backpedaling.
Yes.
Can you use the flip side of those notes to write down who you need to apologize to?
Well, hopefully the people I need to apologize didn't hear it. Here's the thing. You don't know how you can offend people. Sometimes they're so sensitive that, by not mentioning them, you offend them.
Right.
So I'm sure there's nobody's going to be satisfied on this list. I'm going to have left somebody out and... or said the wrong thing about somebody. I'm sure Arnold will be totally cool. The problem with Arnold is every time you mention him, then you mention the old stuff. Howard mentions the old stuff.
Right.
With the maiden, I'm sure he'd rather I didn't talk about that, but I can't control that.
Right.
Arnold knows that.
What's the key? I mean, you're known as a guy who comes in here and delivers every time for the interview and a good give and take. What's the key to navigating a Howard Stern interview?
Well, you need to also listen to Howard. Like a lot of interviews, a good interviewer listens. You need to listen to him because he's going to lead you. And if it gets boring, he's going to take you somewhere good. And just trust that he knows where he's going. And you have to be honest. And even if it makes you look stupid, or you in your mind look stupid, if you come in here and say, I'm going to look super cool, that's not going to happen. So it's an entertainment show. You're going to be entertaining, which is the best thing.
You have to think of it almost as a dance and let him lead.
Right. But you got to be. He leaves you spaces. He goes, okay, especially when he starts wrapping up. Okay, you've been in here. It's been great. And if you forgot something, boy, say it right there. Hey, bam, bam, bam. Fill in that little space. He's like, I'm going to let you. Here's 3 seconds. You got 3 seconds to think of something, and then otherwise, it's over. Well, so it's like a dance.
Right, and you get that better than most.
Thank you.
Well, thank you so much, and good luck with Jutopia.
Jutopia. Thank you very much. vaginabeautiful.com.
Good to see you. How are you? Welcome.
Thanks for having us.
Oh, we're thrilled. Looks like fun.
There are things getting set up for.
I gotta get in the band. Sitting here's a drag. Welcome.
Thank you
for
having me.
Oh, I'm thrilled to have
nice
you
to
here.
meet you.
So excited to have you guys.
Yeah, where was it?
This is great.
You guys want to try this from the top, or do you want to hear your levels? Do you want your ears, Chad?
Yeah, I'll throw these cans on it.
So do we have time to?
You have time to give a few minutes just to make sure you're comfortable. Just do a quick sound check.
Little run through. Check. 1, 2, 2. Oh, you guys.
Just loose and relax.
We got some reverb in here.
I like
It sounds
this.
so pretty.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, we have 2 minutes.
Check
Let's
2, yep.
start. Let me go.
Hey now, I like it. Well, I'm excited. Avril, I think I've been trying to get you in here for years, actually. I really have. Avril Lavigne is here. And Chad, you know, your last name is Kruger.
Thank you.
I don't know
I've
if
been
you know
pronouncing
that.
it wrong for
That's
the last...
how you say it.
Okay.
And you got the rest of your band here. I'm very excited about this. You guys were just doing a little rehearsal of your new song. You know, you were just doing a sound check. That's what we call it in the
Our
business.
first official rehearsal.
To me, there is nothing more romantic than like a husband and wife who can perform together, to do, you know, to be musicians together. I think it's exciting, and you know what I mean? Do you think you could be married to like a regular guy who wasn't in the business, or would it just be too dull?
It's nice because it's really inspiring, and we're always singing around the house and all that stuff, and having this song together. Like, we got to wake up together today, and we're going to work together, babe. Like, this is awesome.
So romantic. It's called Let Me Go, right?
It's called Let Me Go.
You wrote that together?
It was the first song that we wrote in the studio together. So when we first met, really. And
where'd you guys meet?
Like, we met like in Canada at the award shows and stuff like that. Like,
That's where it all goes down.
much music, but
Everything
we
happens
really,
at the award show.
Everything happens at award show. Like Russell Brand hooked up with Katy Perry at an award show.
God.
It just works that way, right?
I hope it doesn't turn out
Yeah,
that
you
way.
guys will do better. Don't worry.
We really met though, like in the studio. Like, we shook hands. We were like, "Hey, nice to meet you."
Oh, you mean it was sort of arranged that you guys would work together? Like somebody put that together?
Yeah, it was cool. My new manager, Larry Rudolph, we sat down and took a meeting, and he was like, before this record started, and he was like, "Hey, what do you think about working with Chad Kruger?" And I was like, "Oh, that's a really good idea. Like, I like that. That feels cool. Like, he plays guitar. He does what I do. He's, like, you know, he's in a band." And
It's almost inevitable, though, that you'll fall in love. Like writing a song together, you're working together, you're both like writing hit records. I mean, what could be a more romantic situation?
I'm not going to lie, I kind of had a feeling.
Yeah, right. Yeah, you're probably like, yeah, okay, he's pretty cute.
I won't let her go and do a movie.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, you know,
movies are the biggest aphrodisiac on the planet. When I did my movie, I was in love with everybody, like guys, girls, everyone. I mean, it was just crazy because it's such a. There's nothing like it in the world. Everyone's catering to you. It's a sick environment. It will ruin a marriage, I think.
Unlike this setting for you.
Well, yeah, this isn't that exciting. So you go into the studio to write together, and you kind of thought he was sort of happening. So you kind of say, hey, well, maybe it'll be a romance. You sit down to write this. How long does it take you on your first meeting to write Let Me Go? Or was that not the first song?
We wrote Let Me Go the very first day. And we weren't together. And then throughout the process, later on down the road, we started dating. And when we came back to this song, it was sort of strange for us because Let Me Go is almost like a departure, a bit of a breakup song. So we put a twist on the end.
Yeah.
And so
and
we're together in the end.
And Chad, you're doing the whole rock star thing. Like, is it hard to settle down with one woman? Seriously, when you got that whole situation going.
The situation.
Well, yeah. I mean, was it a big decision for you to get married, or just a no-brainer?
That just felt like a no-brainer.
No-brainer.
Yeah, I had no intention of ever getting married, and then I met Blondie.
Yeah. And Avril, weren't you burned out on relationships and dudes? I mean, like one.
That's very insightful.
Yeah.
I was.
Right.
I was I was kind of numb. I was like single for the first time, and I was moving to France, and I was like, woo! And
Yeah,
then
like
this guy
I ruined
came
all
along.
of that. I ruined all of that. Yeah, you just,
Yeah, what
You
happened
stole
to
my
the
heart.
move? What happened to the plan?
I was actually pissed off when you were dating that Jenner kid because I was like, that kid gets everything handed to him in life because his father's famous and all that. And then he gets you. And I was like, that just pisses me off. I don't know. I get angry about stuff like that. I literally got angry. Were you angry about that? I hope that was a mistake. I swear to God. He shouldn't have gotten you. That's the way I feel about it. So you go in the studio and you start working together. You start writing this song together. How long does it take to write a song like this?
Well, this song really just happened in one day, and we got together. Our first session was a week long, and we were with David Hodges. So the three of us, we were a tripod, and we went in and we were just like, let's just write music. And we sat around with acoustic guitars and the piano, and we just created, and it was amazing. It was like the best week of my life. I just wrapped my world tour.
Right.
And I had also gone through like other stuff in my personal life, and I had sold my house in LA, so I was like free. And just to come back to music, it was really inspiring, and to be working with L.A. Reid again, and then meeting Chad.
L.A. Reid's the guy who first signed you, right?
He discovered me here in New York when I was 15 years old.
15 years old.
Yeah.
This is unbelievable to me.
What were you doing?
How old were you when you started playing music? I mean, when you just first sort of kind of realized this is what you wanted to do.
You could sing and
I started
write and all
singing
that
on
stuff.
stage when I was 7.
7 years old.
And I was in theater, and although I'm a shy person, I wanted to be up on stage and acting and singing and stuff like that. And then I came out to New York when I was 15. And
But wait a second. When you're 7 years
Yeah.
old, you go up on a stage. And where do you do that?
At my church. Basically, my mom, when I was 2, she said I came home from church singing like Jesus Loves Me, like the whole song, and she knew that I was going to be a singer. So my mom really pushed to, like my daughter can sing because she sang in the church cantata and this and that. And so I got up on stage at 7 years old in church, and I remember like walking off stage and like everyone in the church, like the older people and everybody coming up to me and being like, you're an old soul. And I was like, what the fuck does that mean? But
What did they say to you? What, you're an old soul? Yeah,
soul.
as soon as anyone can do anything good, they're an old soul. I've noticed that with
I
kids.
didn't know what it meant, but
right.
I just had this feeling inside of me, like I just really want to sing, and I didn't really know what was possible. But
Because it's a weird thing to be that young and to know what you want to do. When you think about it, maybe the old soul thing is true. It's like, where does that come from? Was your mom pushing you into a
Nope.
career?
No.
You never felt that anger or anything like
Mom
that?
was just like going to the people in the church being like, she really wants to sing. Can she have an opportunity this year? And they were always like, no, she's too young. And then finally when I was 7, I got up on stage, and it was awesome.
You loved it.
And I was nervous for the first time, like being on stage. Oh my
What did you
God,
sing?
I sang a Christmas song, Near to the Heart of God. I
Right.
sang. That was one. And
Are you a religious person as a result of your upbringing?
I'm spiritual. I grew up in a religious Christian home, like
Right.
not super religious, but a Christian home. And so I think that I learned from that. But
Do you think that's why you don't get naked or half naked in your videos and all that kind of stuff? Or is that just kind of a thing that, like, if you're the real deal?
I'm encouraging. I'm pushing her towards.
Are you? Because seriously, I mean, it seems like everyone is putting out a video. If you're not naked, and I'm not just referring to like Miley Cyrus, but it seems like if you're not half naked, it's sort of you can't break through or get attention. And if you're the real deal and you can actually write songs and perform, you kind of don't need that, right?
Well, it's interesting because when I first came out on the scene, I was 17 with Complicated.
Right.
And L.A. Reid looked at me in his office and he's like, okay, you know what? You got your own thing going on, girl. Like, you keep doing you. Like, we're not going to try to, like, make you over. And I would do, like, magazine covers and they'd want to put me in stuff. And I was just like, no, I want to wear my tie and my Dickies and my whole, like, little skate get-up, like my skate shoes and Converse.
You
and
weren't comfortable doing that stuff.
No, I wasn't.
And no one tried to push you in that direction.
Not really, a little bit. And, like, people still today will try to be like, like, why don't you try this? And it's like, you have to be comfortable you have to know who you are, and I always encourage that.
You were quoted as saying once, you know what, I have a really good body, but I don't need to show it off all the time, right? And I mean, that's kind of how you felt about it.
My husband
Are you still
gets
talking to
see
her or
that.
to me?
Right, yeah. No. Well, does she have a good body?
She's got a great body.
She's got a great body. But L.A. Reid, so how do you end up in L.A. Reid's office? Because, I mean, I know all of us want to have record contracts, so we want to just do the same thing. You walk into L.A. Reid's office. How did he know to even audition you?
He came to the studio.
How did he hear about it?
It was my first time in New York City, and my parents came with me. And
at 15,
I was 15 years old, and I was about to make a demo.
Right.
And like day one of being in the studio, I started writing, and somebody in the studio like got word to L.A. Reid. There's this little 15-year-old girl. You should come hear her. So the next day, they're like, so L.A. Reid, the president of Arista Records, is coming over to the studio to hear you sing. And I was like, huh? I was like, what's that? Wow, okay, cool. I didn't know who he was.
Were you nervous or you don't care because you're 15 and you don't even know what that means?
I was always really comfortable. It was literally like, chair, Avril, sit down, now sing for this man.
Wow.
And I sang for him in front of him. And he said, I was just having such a bad day, and like this is like the sunlight coming in. And I was like,
and he signed you that day, didn't he?
I was signed on the spot. Like it was crazy.
And it was crazy money. You were 15. Didn't they give you like $1.5 million to sign? Some
yeah, I
kind
got
of
a pretty big record deal.
Holy mackerel.
And it was really special because then I got in a limousine and the label took us out to dinner.
All of a
but
sudden.
it was cool because
you're 15.
we went to the top of the Twin Towers and I have photos and it was really memorable, and especially now. And
Look, I don't hear shitty stuff about you being like really bitchy, but you would think if that's to happen to me at 15, it might warp your whole view of the world. You might
it
become
might blow
very
up your mind.
Yeah, you might blow up your mind and become very spoiled and sort of rotten to the core. But why do you think you didn't go that direction?
I try to keep a good balance, and it's really hard to do in this industry because it's very intense and very full on.
And don't you think you have to be smart in a way and self-aware, like, and say, you know what, I can't get carried away with this. Yes, I can sing. Yes, I can write music.
I know who I am. I'm a singer. I'm a musician. I write songs. I go out on stage. I get in that headset, and I like in that mind frame. I go on. I turn it on. I walk off stage, and I turn it off.
Did you ever act out sexually or drugs or anything like that, or did you kind of keep your head together?
I don't. If I acted out at all, it was just that I grew up in a small town, and like my family, I went to church. My parents were kind of strict, so like the second I left home, I was like, "Woo, party!" Like beer.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I've never done drugs.
So you're 15. You get signed. Do you drop out of school? You dropped out of school, right?
I did. I lied. I said I was going to do homeschooling, and I moved away to New York to make the first record for a little bit, and I just didn't end up doing it.
Yeah.
I remember
Are
thinking,
you living on your
this
own?
better work.
Yeah, were you living on your own at that point?
I moved away, and my brother came out here to New York with me.
Yeah.
And
Boy, that's great at 50. If only I could have done that.
Yeah, your brother.
I remember being
$1.5 in the bank.
scared. Like I walked around.
How old is he? Like 11 or something?
My brother is a year and a half older than me.
All right, so he's in charge and he's 16 and a half. That is crazy to me. I mean, like my parents were up my ass every 2 minutes. It's just like you moved to New York with your brother. Does he drop out of school too?
No, he got what do you call that when they get points?
Like, a GED or something?
Yeah, he had to. I don't know how I guess Matt was just telling me the story. He talked his school into whatever he was doing for you. They turned that into some sort of credits for him. It's like, go manage your sister.
He got credits for it, yeah.
Yeah.
And but it was.
Where in New York do they put you up? Like when you're recording?
I got an apartment on Jane Street, and he took me to the studio every day, and it was scary.
Do you think that's why you got married so young? Because you were on your own in a way, and you were kind of growing up kind of fast, I guess.
I did grow up fast.
Yeah, you really did.
I'm a romantic, and I love love.
Right. Me too. Especially when love looks like you. And you should see what I've been in love with in my life.
Can sing songs and write songs and make money.
Yeah, I'm in love too. But so when L.A. Reid comes to the studio and you're 15 and he signs you, now the pressure is on. You've got to come up with an album. Were you a nervous
wreck? Did you
wreck?
study music at all?
I was, I I felt really excited, like, this is it. Okay. Well, when I was 14, I sang on stage with Shania Twain. I won a contest through a local radio station.
Right.
And it was in front of like 20,000 people, and I went up there and
you sent in a tape to a local radio station.
Yeah, like a cassette tape of myself
What
singing.
a charm. Seriously.
The stars haven't aligned for her whatsoever.
Right.
No, not at all. You're 14, you say, hey, I'm going to send in a cassette or something
It
of
was a
myself.
contest.
Right. And do you send in a cassette or something? Is that how it works? And it was a
And I
talent.
won.
And you get to go up on stage and sing with Shania Twain.
Yes, and it was really cool. And I walked up on stage, and like it was in front of 20,000 people, and I was like, oh, I have to do this. Like this feels so right, and it feels so good.
Wow.
And
That's
like
amazing
3 years
confidence.
later, I was signed, and I had my own concert there.
Did you take music lessons?
Robin,
Or any
can you hear
kind of
Robin
training?
talking at all? Oh, you can't hear Robin. That's what I figured. Yeah, yeah, it's not coming through. But I'll repeat. Yeah, were you trained at all musically?
No, we had for Christmas one year. My dad got us like a set of drums. We had an acoustic guitar that he had from high school. We got an electric guitar, and I got a microphone.
Right.
So I just learned how to play on my own. Although when I was really young, I took piano lessons for 2 years, and I don't really remember what I learned, but it definitely helped.
So you think you're a prodigy, a child prodigy? I think so, right? I mean, if you can learn all that stuff on your own, that's pretty impressive.
I learned all the instruments. It's fun. I'm not like amazing, but they're my writing tools.
Did
and
you
I play them
originally
live.
want to be a country star? Was that the move, like Shania Twain?
I sang outside of church. Other than church, I was performing at the fairs,
Right.
and so I was singing like new country, and like the Dixie Chicks and stuff like that.
Right.
And so I enjoyed that. But when I turned 14, so 7 years later, after I really started singing, I got like right before grade 9, right before high school, I kind of felt frustrated. Okay, I'm over singing these Christmas songs and singing cover country songs.
It's not you.
I was like, hey, this is weird, and I like was growing into myself, and I was like, well, I don't know what I want to do, and I was a little frustrated. So I kind of took a little break, and what happened was I took my dad's guitar, and I learned the G chord, and then I just started playing and then figuring out chords on my own, and then I started writing songs. And then my mom would be in the kitchen, and I'd sing them for her, and then I started writing, and then eventually developed my own style.
Wow, yeah, that's pretty amazing, and to do it all at such a young age. So when you go into the studio for the first album, you're 15, L.A. Reid has signed you, he's giving you a big advance. The pressure's on, you got to come up with hit songs. Is that when you come up with Complicated?
So I moved to New York, and I started working out here, and what happened was people were writing songs for me, and I didn't like that.
Right.
And I didn't like the style.
But today, doesn't that almost have to be? It seems to me that the people who consistently keep coming up with big hit songs are working in groups.
Yeah.
Like Katy Perry's almost a machine at this point.
Yeah, the majority of people have like other people write for them. For me, I was like so young, and I turned to L.A. Reid and I was like, listen, I really want to write my own music. So they sent me out to L.A. I left New York. I started fresh, and I started like really just like writing with a bunch of different people. And so I spent a year making the very first record, and the songs that got used on it were the songs that I did in the last 2 months of making that record.
And you probably wrote them really quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Was Complicated one of the first ones you wrote for that?
Out in LA, yes.
How long did it take you to write Complicated?
Complicated happened like immediate, like in a day. Like anything that's been successful for me has pretty much been just like really quick.
Well, where does a song like Complicated come to you? Are you just like in the shower somewhere?
So I got together with a group called The Matrix. So Lauren Christie and I sat in the backyard around some orange trees. I was like, oh my God, there's oranges growing off these trees. And we had a blanket, and we just would write lyrics to like Skater Boy, and we'd talk about stuff, and like we were just two chicks bonding, and so like we would go through all the lyrics together for Complicated. And I was like, hey, I really like Skater Boys. I'm like so into that.
Yeah.
And we wrote a lot of songs together, and it was a really great team. Her husband at the time played guitar, and so like all of us were writing together, and
it was like a beautiful, easy experience.
Yeah.
Is life complicated being married when you're both successful, wealthy people? Like literally, you get married, and the rent has to be paid. Like, I mean, every month, or I don't know, I don't know what the expenses are, but like the groceries. Do you guys have to sit down and like have a business meeting about who's going to pay for what? How did you work all that out? Honestly.
That's kind of funny.
Yeah, how do you work that out?
No, it's pretty easy. I mean, we split all the stuff around the house. It's fair. It's nice.
That's how you do it.
Yeah, there's just a card that goes to a thing that we both pay out of, and so when we,
It's a 50-50 split.
Sure.
Yeah. I would think that is complicated, actually.
It's really nice, actually.
It is? Is it a peaceful life? What do you guys do all day? Do you write music a lot?
We do. We're constantly, like, coming up with ideas. Chad is such a great lyricist. Like, he's always, like, stopping and, like, oh, what about this? And, he's always, we're always singing. There's always a guitar. There's a piano at the house.
Sounds like fun. I might have to come hang with you guys.
You should.
It's really
write
inspiring.
a few songs.
I think you'd like it.
That's it.
Oh my! What are you going to have, Howard? They got guitars. What are you?
I'll probably just write some lyrics and stuff.
I see.
Mostly about masturbation and having a small penis. I think I could write a good song about that. I certainly know enough about it. So that song is released. That was your first big single, right?
Yes.
That song immediately goes to like #2 on the Billboard charts, and suddenly you're a huge star.
Was it number one? It was number one.
Was it number one?
Oh, yeah.
Wow. That's
Actually,
unbelievable.
when Complicated came out, Nickelback.
That's the only thing that an artist will correct you on is if you say they sold this many records.
I thought it debuted. Yeah, I thought it debuted as #2 and then went to #1, but I don't know. But what's who gives a shit?
I don't know. The funny thing, like when the year before we had our first hit, it was called "How You Remind Me," and that we had broken all these. We had earned all these stats, and we had all these records that we had shattered with this song, right?
Did you write that real quick?
Real quick.
How quick?
15 minutes.
15 minutes.
Wow.
And that was like a huge hit right away.
But the funny thing was, then this little girl came out of Napanee, and this song called Complicated came out and broke every single one of the records that we had got the year before.
So you had to marry her.
I had to.
Slow her down a little. Yeah, right. Doesn't it freak you out when something comes to you in 15 minutes and then you go, well, do I have to write every song in 15 minutes in order for it to be great?
You start to think like that.
Yeah.
When I spend a long time on one song and we're like really going through the lyrics, and I get to the point where I'm like, yeah, I don't know if this is a good idea if we spend any more time because
you're superstitious in a way, right? So how long to write Skater Boy? Quickie again?
Yeah, that was pretty quick. I mean, Lauren and I really spent a lot of time on the lyrics. Like Girlfriend, the chorus was written in 2 minutes.
Right.
The whole chorus, and then Dr. Luke put the track together, and I remember playing it for my friends and feeling like, oh my God, this has to be a single. Like, this feels really strong, and without even having verses or anything.
Was Skater Boy your second big single?
Yes.
Off the same album?
Yes.
So Complicated gets released, that becomes a hit, and then they release Skater Boy.
Yes.
So what happens? The record company now realizes they have a gold mine, right, in you? I mean, because everything you're touching is turning to gold, literally.
They called me before the record came out, and I was like, my mom's like, so the record company's on the phone for you. They called my house, and I was like, hello. They were like, they said to me, they're like, this is going to do really good. This is going to be really big. And I was like, really? Okay, cool. And then,
because you're only 16. They're talking to a kid.
I was at my parents' house where I grew up on the phone with them, and I was like, wow, this is really cool.
What is the reaction to the friends? Did you have a lot of friends growing up? You were sort of troubled in high school, right? Like
I was trouble in high school,
Why?
but good
Because
trouble.
You were bad trouble. You were not a good student because what? ADD or something?
No, I went to a Christian school.
Right.
And then when I got to high school, I was like, beer? Anybody? Beer? And like...
You freaked out.
I was like going to the stalls with my girlfriends in grade 9, like chugging Mike's Hard Lemonade and be like, wow.
Did you become an alcoholic?
No.
No. But you partied.
I've never done drugs. It was just one of those things where I was like, whoa, my parents aren't here. Like, I can socialize. We can have fun.
This was an all-girls school?
No, this is like when I got to high school, so grade 9. And then I got into like skateboarding and like wearing the really baggy pants and skate shoes and hanging out with all the guys.
So school wasn't cool for you. You just couldn't fit in.
Like, I excelled in gym and drama.
Right.
Everything else.
Two very important subjects. You can go far with those.
It's really ironic because we had to take music class, and so I was like, okay, I want to learn the guitar, but I kind of already knew it. classical guitar is what they teach you with like reading music and picking, and I got a 48 in that because
they could probably almost want to beat the musician in you out of you with that kind of formal training. It's not fun.
I don't have the patience for that. Yeah.
All right, tell me about the song "I'm With You." How, when you do the arrangement and all that stuff, do you know like just how to arrange that thing right away, or is it like 50 different tries to get that whole chorus and the way you lead into it just right?
During the recording process?
Yeah, during the recording process. How long does that take to get that just right?
I remember actually with this song in the studio when it came time to sing it, like I kind of almost had to like practice it a bunch. Like I went in, I sang it, and I wasn't feeling it, and then I went back in the evening, and then I sang it. We tried turning the lights down, and like I had to get into that headspace.
Do you get depressed when you sing it?
Depressed?
Yeah.
No. When I sing this song, this is my favorite one to sing on stage. I love it because I really get to use my voice and range with it. Yeah. All that stuff. And that feels so good for me. And the audience is amazing. And so, like, I play a lot of fast, like, pop rock songs live. And then when it comes time to sing I'm With You, I love
I'm With
it.
You is about loneliness and depression, though, right? I mean, to me, I don't know. Am I wrong about that?
It's really just trying to find that somebody and having questions and really just trying to figure it out. But to me, it doesn't feel depressing. It just feels like a part of life and that journey and, trying to really figure things out.
So you don't get sad when you sing it? You don't start crying or anything like that?
No, I actually feel good when I sing it.
And you won a Grammy for that, didn't you?
I have not won a Grammy.
No.
Although
Weren't you nominated for that?
I've been nominated for 8 Grammys, and I don't have one.
Does that matter to you, or you just don't care?
I'd be lying if I would say it didn't matter. But like the other day when we were at home, it was kind of cool.
There's got to be one on eBay somewhere. I'll get one.
I was just thinking that, right? I was actually, because we got a new house and stuff, and we're like organizing. I was organizing like all my awards, and I was looking at them, and I was like, I've got a lot of Junos, a lot of
VMAs.
She's got Moon Man and
Moon Man.
tons of,
What's the gold one? The World Music Awards.
World Music Awards. You've got a bunch
and
of
I was
those.
like, okay, it's in front of my desk. I'm like, okay, I need a Grammy.
Well, the Grammys, I guess, still are the sort of the pinnacle, right?
Yeah, when you get nominated, you get like a big plaque for the wall that has like a little mini plastic Grammy sitting in it.
And it just doesn't do it. The nomination isn't good enough.
It's awesome because I have that award and you have that award, and it says like everyone who was nominated that year, and like there's like a Nickelback and then Avril Lavigne, and like we both have the same one. So I'm like, yeah.
I like that you say that you would, like you have a special place for your awards, because it seems like the cool thing to say is I took them and threw them in the bathroom or something, and it doesn't matter to me. But it does matter, right? I mean, it is nice to be acknowledged.
It's really nice. It's nice to see. We don't put them all around the house. We like either put them in the pool table room or like the office or like the basement,
right? Like
that kind of thing, or the studio. But it's really nice,
yeah. Why not? I mean, it would be nice. Who beat you out? Was it all like Nora Jones, right?
Yeah. I remember I was up for Best New Artist, and then Nora Jones got it, and I don't remember the other ones. But my first record, I was nominated for 5, and then.
It's like every new artist that shows up leaves with 6 of the damn things.
Sometimes it's a jinx, though, when you're a new artist and you win, and then you never hear from these people again.
That's what they used to say, yeah.
It's true.
They used to say that.
And now Nora Jones, what's she doing now? I mean, you're still around and she's not. Maybe she should turn over her Grammy.
She's making music, Howard.
I don't know. I don't see her anywhere. The song Breakaway that you wrote, why did you give that to Kelly Clarkson? Why wouldn't you record that? That's a really good song. It was a huge hit. What was going through your mind on that?
I wasn't feeling it.
You didn't feel Breakaway?
No.
You didn't know it would be a hit?
I wasn't feeling it. Like sometimes that happens. I just wasn't feeling it for me, and Kelly got the song. We gave Kelly the song, and
what do you mean we gave it to her? How do you do that?
Well, I was asked if Kelly could have the song, and I was like, sure. And then
had you recorded a sort of a demo track of it?
Probably like a really rough demo.
Right.
That would sound like ass.
Right.
But she did an amazing job. She heard
the song
singer.
Breakaway.
Yeah.
Does she contact you and say, I want the song, or is it all done through management?
Through management.
Through
and
management.
Stuff.
And then she liked the song so much, she even named the album Breakaway.
Yeah.
When you hear her have a big hit song, do you sit there and go, damn it, I should have done that?
Kind of. Yeah.
But you still get paid because you wrote the song.
Every time I hear it, I'm like, I actually feel really proud. And I think that it was really cool that I ended up, having a song for somebody else, writing a song for someone else. I wrote a song, Demi Lovato took it, Daydream, and Leona Lewis, I Will Be. So there's a few songs that I wrote that other...
I think it would be very cool if you were doing a concert and you did that song. I like hearing Prince do the Sinead O'Connor song that she got from him.
I think that's a really good idea. Actually, I should do that.
It's very cool
Thanks,
to
Howard.
hear the artist who wrote it, even though
Yeah.
it became a hit with somebody else. Because Prince does it all the time, and he does it. Nothing compares to you, and it blows me away every time he does it.
You're gonna have to come to the house and write some songs with us.
Yeah,
I
I
think.
gotta get down to that. After I run for vice president of the United States, I'll come over and hang with you guys. All right. So the new self-titled album is called Avril Lavigne.
Yeah.
Is that the way to go?
So that's the trend right now.
Is
It's
that
like
because you
super hipster?
Is that because you ran out of
Just kidding.
titles? I mean, you.
The record is so diverse. It's like sounds and styles from my past. I've experimented with like new topics, subjects, like sounds. So it's like really all over the place. I have a rock song
Is it your
with
favorite
Marilyn
album ever?
Marilyn Manson. Chad and I have a ballad.
How is it working with Marilyn Manson?
Awesome.
Yeah, he's pretty nuts.
Yeah.
Why didn't you name the album Chad? Honestly,
I could have. I mean, it could have been Chavril.
Yeah, something like that. There you go. All right. So now, hey, by the way, how long you guys been married? Not too long, right?
90 days.
How many?
90 days.
90 days.
Really?
Like that, yeah.
How'd you keep the wedding so quiet and stuff? Like, where do you get married?
She could work for the CIA.
How'd you do it?
Easily.
We kept it small, really intimate, and
Who gets to go?
everyone had to sign NDAs. That's
Is
the
that
way
right?
to go.
Is
Yeah.
that true?
Yeah.
You mean if I came to your wedding, I had to sign a
non-disclosure statement.
Yeah.
No kidding. Oh, that must
Because
have been
then
fun.
people take pictures and they don't realize, and we just wanted to make sure everyone knew.
one
We
was
wanted
allowed
to
to
keep
take
it on the
any
DL because it was a very special day for us.
You
and-
want to keep it. You want to keep something private for
Yeah.
yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you wear a white gown and the whole thing?
Hell no.
What do you wear to your wedding?
I wear a black dress. And we got married at 9 p.m. in a castle in Europe, in France. And we partied till 6 a.m. and
Fireworks.
there were fireworks.
No kidding.
And we had a black wedding cake. And
Oh, this is very goth.
yes, very gothic.
Chad, what do you wear? Do you wear a suit?
Yeah, I wore a white tux.
No, you didn't.
No.
What do you wear? What do you wear? Like jeans or something?
No, I had a black suit on, looking
very dapper.
Very dapper.
Very dapper.
You invite the band to come to the wedding?
I think
the
I was
groomsmen.
obligated to. Yeah, I had like 8 grooms.
And they had to sign a non-disclosure.
No.
I mean, they give the band. Mostly relatives and stuff.
Right.
With the iPhones, you got to make sure they
Exactly.
don't release any pictures and things. Because you try to explain to people, look, I'm trying to keep my life private. And when are we going to have kids already? What's happening with that?
90 days, Howard. Can I have a moment?
3 months, Howard.
I heard the theory that Avril is already pregnant. True or false?
That's false.
False?
Yes.
Do I believe that?
Yeah.
Does she look pregnant?
No. Well, I don't know. Well, it could be at the very beginning. Could be the first day of it or something.
Oh, maybe.
I don't know.
Maybe she
I'm
doesn't
fishing
even
around.
know.
We were holding hands. and
Are
we
you guys
got-
going to have kids?
We got popped in Paris. I think they popped us, and that was like a year ago. And they were like, "Oh, she's pregnant."
Yeah.
Didn't they say the same thing when you got married to Derek? Like right off the bat, it's like, "Oh, she's
Yeah,
pregnant."
I mean, they always do that. It's like, bitches, I drank beer. I have a fucking beer belly. Get over it.
Well, you don't have a beer belly.
I mean, but you know what they do? They take the picture that looks and they change
trying
it.
to flog magazines?
They make it look
No,
worse. and-
whenever two famous people get married, they go, well, they're pregnant already. That's why they had to quickly
yeah,
get married.
that's how it goes.
That's how it kind of works. And so the wedding night, is it everything you expect? I mean, do you wear a special outfit on your wedding night? I can't imagine Avril Lavigne like getting a trousseau.
Well, I
Right,
wore
yeah.
a special outfit the other day for Thanksgiving dinner, didn't I, honey?
Yeah, you did.
We had our Canadian Thanksgiving.
Canadian thing.
We celebrated
what
it.
was the outfit? I'm curious.
Well, we celebrated it Friday night at home, and
What was the outfit?
Asian provocateur.
She had the pumps on
Les
and
boutons.
A school teacher?
Oh no!
No, I cooked dinner like full on Utah.
She was looking just slutty and fabulous.
What are you saying? Was she nude? How do you cook dinner in a sexy outfit? What is it, like the Louboutins, the high heels?
My agent provocateur black lace see-through like get up.
That's awesome.
It's fun.
And what do? You bang right in the kitchen?
We banged twice.
We did have sex twice.
On the turkey?
Twice on Thanksgiving. Isn't that sacrilege?
Actually, three times.
The Pilgrims were rooting for us.
This is obviously a very sexual relationship if you had sex 3 times in one night. That is an amazing amount of sex. Hey, Chad, I heard about you that when you were in high school, that you actually blew yourself. Is that true?
What?
Yes, I'm not kidding. I read this.
Oh my goodness.
Is that true? So you have
Don't believe everything you read in Playboy magazine.
You gave the interview and you said you blew yourself in high school.
Were you trying to start a rumor?
No.
That means you have a tremendously big penis.
You'd have to ask my wife.
Is it the biggest you've ever been with, Avril?
100%.
Really? Yeah, I mean, that's amazing. That you could be that flexible and bend over. I mean,
you don't have to be that flexible if it's big.
It's that big.
My.
Avril, how many inches would you guess it is?
I don't know. It's just...
You've never measured it. You've never taken a ruler and measured his penis.
No.
That's very
well.
Yes.
After we leave here,
go ahead.
Before we do the photo shoot for People Magazine, we've got 5 hours?
Yeah.
We can measure away.
All right, so let's get back to the music for a second. You two have to stop talking about your sex life and your penis.
Because we've lost them.
When you wrote this song together, this was another one of these quickie songs, right? It came to you right away. Yes?
Yeah. First day, we pretty much had it done. Yeah.
All right. And when you say let me go, I have no idea what that means. Are you saying let me go where?
So let me explain it to you. Basically, like I open the first verse, and it's kind of like me wanting to let go of my past. And then Chad comes in on the second verse, same for him. It's really about the journey of love through one's life. Sometimes we're with other people. We've obviously had past relationships, and now we're together and we've found each other. And so towards the end of the song, after we were together, like after we wrote this song, we put a twist on it and changed the lyrics in the last chorus to now we're together, so it turns into Don't Let Me Go.
I see. Were your families for the marriage, or were they against you getting married so quickly? Because you guys got married pretty fast, right?
His family was pretty shocked.
Right.
And
did they say not to get married?
No, his mom was like, in this whole time I've known my son, like he's never wanted to get married. Like you're the first one, and it was really flattering and it was really sweet. And my family loved Chad right away.
Did you guys go to a therapy session before you got married to make sure you were right for each other? Do you go and get some counseling before you actually marry?
No.
You didn't?
No.
It felt right.
It felt right. You knew.
We knew.
Chad proposed in the studio.
Nude?
That would be distracting.
I was nude when I proposed to my wife. Imagine that, and she's still married me. Yeah. Oh my God.
Where were you hiding the ring?
I was. In my ass. Where I hide everything. It's a big luggage truck back there. But you want to know something?
Goodness.
I thought I don't know why I said this. I said let's get naked, and I don't even know. I mean, why would I do that?
What is your sign?
I'm a Capricorn.
Okay.
You should be a Scorpio, though.
Yeah,
you know
that sounds like a Scorpio trait.
I don't believe in any of that. But
he just robs from all the signs.
Listen, if I was Chad, I would propose while giving myself oral, if I could do that. Because what woman wouldn't be impressed with that?
Come on, I don't think that's a good idea.
She would constantly be saying, what? What?
You will never share your bed with other people? Will it always be a monogamous relationship?
Unless we get a cat.
I see. But Avril, you will never go for that with another woman in the bed, right?
Sharing the bed with a cat.
Will you share the bed with a woman with Chad if he says, that's what I need in this relationship?
I'll let Chad answer that one.
Chad?
Can I tell the story?
Yes.
Before we got married, she's tricky.
Right.
And I, so...
Basically, I was like, hey, would you ever do that? And he was like, no, I think that would be the worst thing for our relationship. And I was like, okay, great, I'll marry you.
Well, that's the answer every guy has to give. You understand that? It's not necessarily the honest answer. It's the answer a guy, unless the guy's a complete moron, he knows not to say.
We're getting married and making that commitment for a reason, and that would be problematic.
I believe so. Chad,
let's wait 30 years till, maybe we need to change things up and then we readdress, it's but for now,
everything's cool.
We got this.
Yeah, I would actually be jealous if my wife was with another woman.
that came up during that conversation. I said, what if this girl starts performing things on you and she's doing a better job than I can do?
Right.
I'm going to be a little pissed.
You're going to lose her. That's
Sure.
it. That's the end of it. All right.
Yeah, if I were you, I'd be careful of that too.
Whoa! Absolutely. Avril Lavigne's new self-titled album, and it features a song called Let Me Go that she performs with Chad, her husband. And doesn't it piss you off when you see people lip-syncing more and more? I mean, I get really annoyed when I see somebody supposedly doing a live performance and they can't sing. I mean, that to me is the best. When two people get up and they start singing, stripped down, and you can really hear their voices. But no one's doing that anymore, right?
There's been a couple times during this
I get kind of jealous
interview.
when I'm watching the TV and people are like dancing all over in lips. I'm like, no fair, bitches.
It doesn't feel fair, does it?
Just even this interview alone, like sometimes I hear the sound of your voice coming in my ear, but your lips aren't moving.
That's right.
How
I
are you
record
doing?
all the questions beforehand. I never work live. It's very dangerous. It's like walking a tie wire. Listen, you two.
Well, how do they take
use the
care of
sentence
their
coming in my
voices?
ear.
Because
Yeah.
they do really sing. How
Are
do
you
they
guys
take care of their voices?
superstitious about your voices? Do you do a whole like you do have what do they call that, vocal rest days
Rituals
and all of that?
Yeah.
Yeah, like I do vocal warm-ups,
Right.
and I drink a lot of throat coat tea, and then I try to be like really quiet day of show.
Yeah, we had Metallica in here, and James does like tremendous vocal warm-ups before he goes. I mean, there was like a full concert going on in there right before they just started performing. It was really good. Well, listen, you guys, I'm really thrilled you came by. I wish you a lot of luck with your marriage.
Thank you.
And I wish you luck with the new album. And we should introduce the rest of your band here, too. We have Steve on keyboards. We got Dan Ellis on guitar.
Thank you so much for
Really
having
appreciate
us on
it.
the show,
Yeah, it was
Howard.
great. And we'll be back right after these words. Wow, that was really, really great. Oh, you guys sounded so good.
Thank you.
I know everyone complains they got to go, so early in the morning, but I don't know. It sounds good to me.
You can't get an afternoon slot? Or...
You want to know something? I hate doing mornings, and I don't want to get up at 4 in the morning. But it's where the action is, It's where the biggest audience is.
Yeah.
And otherwise, you feel like you're wasting your time if you don't do it in the morning. But with satellite, we run the show 24/7, so this will just keep re-airing. And which is great for the people who come in. And it's also, really, when you think about it, why do I have to go on that early? Because you're going to hear the show at some point during the day. But whatever.
This is the demon that you've been. That thing is like destroyed. You must have been dealing with this your entire career. You've been doing the whole.
Oh, it's horrible.
Really?
Oh my God, it's awful. And when I was on terrestrial radio, you get up at 4, and by 6 o'clock, you can't even function. Like you go to bed. And if you don't, your voice is shot. It's a whole thing.
And you need to come on. You need to be funny and witty, and you got to be on top of your game. And
it's completely neurotic.
Getting the sleep out of your eyes and trying to
It hasn't been easy. It's been a real nightmare. Thank you for doing this.
Thanks for having
Really.
us.
Thank you, Avril. So nice to meet you. Real pleasure. Hope you guys had fun.
So, Avril, during the interview today with Howard, you talked about how you've been singing since a young age. You hit worldwide fame at a very young age. Throughout all the interviews you've done over the years, how does Howard stand out? What separates him from the pack?
What I thought was different with Howard's interview, and I actually really liked it, is that when he'd asked the question, like, he actually really wants to know the answer in depth. And so, like, he kind of kept going back to it, like, he's like, how did you really start singing? Like, I kind of gave him my answer that I give everyone at first. But then he was like, no, really, how did you really get your start? And so I actually got to really talk about that, like, what it was like growing up and where I started singing. And people don't really, like, give you that time to, like, and really necessarily always want to know that stuff. So there was a lot of depth to the questions in the interview. And I thought he was really pleasant. And I thought it went really well, and I felt really comfortable, and I had a really good time.
That's awesome.
And now I'm excited to see my gift bag.
That's nice.
Here?
Did that differ from what you thought prior to going into the studio this morning?
I mean, I personally had a good feeling about it. I was like, oh, it's going to be cool. But everyone around me was like, it's Howard Stern. Like, you better go online and look at all his interviews. And I was like, yeah. My publicist was like, you know, you better go online. And I'm like, yeah, I looked at them. She's like, I was just get her off my ass. Like, but I didn't. I just showed up literally. Do you remember I said that on the phone call? I was like, yeah, I watched the email you sent me, and I just got her to stop talking. But no, I was like, I like just showing up and being real, and I don't need to, you know, you got to be honest and you got to be yourself. And he made me feel really comfortable, and I had fun. I want to come back.
That's awesome.
It's cool.
Well, thank you so much, Ariel, and good luck with the new album.
Thank you.
I'm Piers Morgan. I've come here to see my old friend Howard Stern. Not very happy with Howard because, of course, he took my chair on America's Got Talent. So there'll be a bit of beef about that, obviously. Other than that, I've got to promote my new book, Shooting Straight, Guns, Gays, God and George Clooney. All topics I'm sure Howard is very familiar with. And it should be the normal Howard scenario. He plies me with free gifts and then he rips me to pieces live on air. I'd have it no other way. Particularly enjoy the cupcakes.
Do you think that gift bag is a way of him trying to lull you to sleep prior to the interview?
It's like the executioner giving you a last meal. You know, it's just rather nice of him. At least I know however bad it gets in there, I'll walk away with some swag. Some Howard swag. So how bad can life be?
It's win-win.
It's a win-win. And as with always with this show, I'm British. So nobody in Britain will ever hear this. It doesn't matter.
We'll see you in the studio, Piers.
Cheers, guys.
Piers Morgan has his own talk show on CNN. I'm going to tell Piers his two best moments, in my opinion.
On his talk show?
Yeah. He works for CNN. Hey, Piers, looking good. Good to see you.
I saw Piers the other night, but
Where?
I don't think he saw me. I
Where'd
was
you
at
see him?
CNN.
Oh, right. Well, you passed him in the hall?
He ran into where I was sitting for a moment and then ran out.
Piers is busy. He always seems like you're jet-setting, busy.
It sounds impossibly glamorous.
It really does.
It's
How you
really
doing?
not, but I'm good. How are you?
When's the last time I saw you? Was it on your talk show, maybe?
I think it probably was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was that the first week? I know how important the CNN gig was to you. You had left America's Got Talent. You said, I got to focus on this gig. The first week you go on the air is the biggest pressure because everyone's judging you. And the getting a guest is so damn difficult. You could probably write a book just about getting Oprah as your first guest, right?
Yeah, I virtually did.
How did you? I know. How did you get Oprah? By the way.
Well, it's like, I mean, as you know, you get guests, big guests, in the most unlikely way. So I was staying down at a hotel in Los Angeles, a Beverly Wilshire, where I lived for a couple of years.
And did CNN say to you, "You've got to get a big guest"?
Yeah, but listen. I knew the pressure when I was sort of thinking, "Oh, this is all going to be a bit of fun." Replace Larry King, blah blah blah. I remember January the 1st, 2011, walking to Times Square, heavily hungover after a big night at the Monkey Bar here in New York. And
what do you drink at the Monkey Bar?
This is a good story because I was with Andrew Lloyd Webber's daughter, Imogen, who
cute,
does a lot of,
right?
Very cute, and does a lot of TV in America. And
isn't she like incredibly good looking?
Like really, I think right up your alley. Is how I would describe it.
I forget where I saw her. Maybe on a 60 Minutes piece or something like that.
She does a lot of stuff like that.
Yeah.
Very, very smart as well. And I know her dad very well. Anyway, to cut a long story short, she got her dad's wine stash. So her dad moved apartments in New York, but left his wine cellar. Now, Andrew Lloyd Webber, for anyone who knows, has one of the greatest collections of French Bordeaux and Burgundy in the world.
Because he's a super wealthy man, can afford any bottle of wine.
Billionaire, got all the wine you want. I love French wine. So I said, here's the deal, Imogen. I'll throw the party, you're supplying the wine. So she turns up with this 1982 Chateau Latour, all this amazing stuff. So we have the most fantastic night of an orgy of gluttony.
When you say an orgy of gluttony, how much wine do you drink? Do you drink 2-3 bottles?
Well, through the week, I might have one glass a night when I get back from work because you can't do this kind of job as hungover or even inebriated, and
because you have to be prepared for your job.
Right,
you do.
Right, you have to. And anyone who's any good at it knows that. But at the weekend, when I'm unleashed on a Saturday night, I can, I'm a typical Brit.
Right.
One bottle slips down nicely. Second one comes along. What I found in America is when you order the third bottle of wine, if there's no more than 2 or 3 of you sitting there, they start calling the Betty Ford Clinic. And ambulances start arriving outside, and it's like, okay, we got the heavy boys in tonight.
And you're talking about bottles of wine that are worth like thousands of dollars,
yeah,
right?
I mean, the 82 Latour would be, like an $8,000 bottle of wine.
Can you tell the difference? Because I've been treated by people to great wines, and sometimes, like, honestly, I don't think I know the difference between Boone's Farm and
I have a reasonably good palate, but the reality is, if you know what you're doing with French wine, if you go to Paris or you go to Nice or somewhere, and you know what you're talking about, which I do to a tiny degree, you can buy a bottle of wine for $30,
and
it's going to taste. It's going to taste like an 82 Latour.
So when the pressure's on, how come CNN does it? Like, they don't say, "Hey, we'll go get you your first guest."
Well, they give you a lot of bookers who are all obviously well-paid booking teams. I've got a load of bookers, but the pressure was building. We got to I remember about December the 20th. We were on air January the 17th. Obviously, everywhere was shut down for 2 weeks for the holidays. And we had nobody. And I was thinking, this is an absolute disaster. Now, I had a way into Oprah. I thought, I've got to get Oprah or Obama. Obama said no.
Right.
I said, right, we've got to get Oprah because she's just a global figure. The show airs globally. It's a great name. By pure bit of luck, the general manager of the Beverly Wilshire in L.A., a guy called Rada Aurora, I bump into him. He's a good friend of mine. He said, how are you getting on? I said, well, not great. I haven't got any really big starting names. And he said, what about Oprah? And I said, well, I don't have any way in. He said, look, Gayle King's a friend of mine. I know Oprah. They're in town, all right? Drop them a line. So I dropped Gayle a line, and Gayle and I became best buddies for the next few
So the way
days.
to Oprah is Gayle King.
Who I didn't know, but Gayle
Right.
became the gatekeeper.
Right.
And Gayle worked on Oprah so brilliantly that when she finally confirmed that Oprah was going to do the show, and I got a note back saying we're on, when Oprah walked through the door, I remember this, Gayle was behind her to do the interview. And Oprah said, remind me again why I'm doing this, Gayle, as she walked in. And Gayle said, well, Piers seems he's a really good interview. She said, have you ever met him? And she said, I've never met him. How do you know he's a good interview? What are we doing here?
It suddenly dawned on her that she had been played.
Yeah.
That's the shitty job, because that's the shitty aspect of your job. Because really, in a celebrity-driven show, you can't come up with an Oprah every freaking
No,
day.
you can't. No,
You can't.
Although, to be fair, I had an even bigger star the next day for the second
That's
show.
right. You had me.
The great king of all media.
I had
so-
a good time doing your
Yeah,
show.
it was fun.
I
I want
thought
you
it
to
was-
go. We'll come back.
Yeah, I know. I don't. You know what? It's funny. I just heard from Letterman even again, and I love. You know why I love David Letterman? I have a special place in my heart for him because when I was like a local disc jockey in New York, just first got here, nobody gave a shit about me, and he gave me a national audience. He would put me on his show.
Yeah.
But it's a funny thing with talk shows. If you go on them too much and you're too available,
Yeah.
I feel you just kind of out. No one gets excited when
Well,
they
look,
see
you
it.
don't need publicity. That's not the reason you would do stuff like that.
Yeah, I think I'm better off without the publicity.
Yeah, you control
honestly.
your own on here. That's why I listen to it.
So are you still enjoying the job? The part that I hate about a job like yours, and I told you this when you first took the job, you're up against these other news channels. They're not celebrity driven. They're basically doing the issues, and they get on and they fight with each other. One guy's a left-wing guy, another right-wing guy, and they scream and yell at each other. It's sort of like wrestling.
Yeah.
And so now you're on there doing an interview, straight interview. Probably, I said to you, if you were a correspondent on 60 Minutes, they'd be hailing you all over the place for these great interviews. It's so hard in an hour format. Not that you have everyone on for an hour, but I'm saying it's so hard in an hour format to keep that going.
Well, look, we realised that pretty early, and also we were struck by an unbelievable news cycle when I first started. So after 3 weeks of quite...
What are we listening to?
What's that?
Piers, is that your entourage? What is that?
Is that your phone? What's going on?
I don't know.
We've been invaded?
I don't know what that is.
What's happening, Howard?
I think it was Gary's microphone. I think he actually sat on it. I'm not kidding. It's so weird. I was like, oh, we have a piece of sound here about your first week. So what was I just saying?
No, well, here's the secret that I reveal in my book, which is that actually there was a moment 3 weeks in when I'd done great big interviews with you and Oprah and George Clooney, and we had this amazing run of big interviews, and everyone, the buzz was pretty good about it, but I knew, like you knew, these bookings don't come along every night, so you're gonna reach C-list celebrity booking hell unless you're very careful. And then we got hit by one of these extraordinary news cycles, which can happen. And it was the Arab Spring, it was Bin Laden killed, Gaddafi killed, the Japanese earthquake and tsunami. Everything was going off. Even Charlie Sheen was self-imploding. Everything was like kicking off all over the place, and it was incredibly thrilling. We had fantastic ratings, and I realized, wow, I'm a genius. This is going to be so easy.
Right.
Then we had a lull of about 3 months, and what I discovered about CNN is that it has this amazingly brilliant brand as the leader in news, breaking news, but that can also be a bit of a curse when there's not much happening.
I know.
Because when the news stops, CNN's ratings tend to collectively come down, and when it starts again, up they go.
I think you're way happier covering a big news story than you are doing a celebrity interview.
Well, it depends on the celebrity. I mean, look, I've had interviews in recent weeks. I had the first interview with Pastor Rick Warren about the loss of his son, which was one of the most moving hours of television I've ever been involved with. I had an hour with Bill Clinton, which was always fantastic, and he was terrific. I've had some great interviews recently, but if you ask me, as a former editor of a daily newspaper, like any journalist, like anyone who's been a reporter, what is it that really gets your juices flowing? It is being at the center of things when a massive news story breaks. The difficulty is, that they don't happen that often, and you have to, in the meantime, make the show as compelling as you can. What I tried to do is mix it up, have a bit of news, a bit of debate, whichever big, relevant to the moment celebrities you can get in, but it's not easy.
When you're sitting there interviewing a guy, and you just, like, even if it's Bill Clinton, and who's a fascinating guy, but let's say he's droning on about his latest initiative or something like that, are you sitting in your head going, because you know television and newspaper editing, do you just want to say, oh, shit, just shut the fuck up? Because you can feel the TV's turning off. Because if you got a guy on there who drones, you're screwed, right?
There was a guy, I told the story in the book, that one of the more difficult moments like that was when I had to interview the Prime Minister of Tunisia, who was the stand-in Prime Minister at the time. Now, here was the slight problem. It was a pre-tape, thank God. He only insisted on speaking in French via an interpreter. It also turned out that he was quite verbose. So I asked one question: how are things going, Prime Minister? Not the most complex of questions. 10 minutes later, he was still speaking in a relentless, droning monotone.
And you can't interrupt because you got an interpreter.
Well, I can't really understand him because he's speaking in French.
Yeah.
And so I'm having to wait, and then this interpreter's then regurgitating it all back into French. This went on for about 15 minutes, and I realized we'd spent the entire interview on one question.
What do you do with a tape like that? Do you air it, or you just say, screw it, it's a bit of buzz?
Listen, you use a few lines, and you pump a few. I mean, the great thing about the modern media is you can put stuff online. You can always salvage any situation. But you talk about difficult celebrities, for example, Robert De Niro. I talk about in the book. I don't know if you've ever had him on the show.
No, I haven't, and I would be I would definitely take the booking. I would definitely want to talk to Robert De Niro.
But you know why? Because you would be like me, Howard. You'd be like, I've heard all the rumors about how difficult.
Yes,
it is, right. I'm going to be the guy that cracks it. So
that's exactly what I think.
Right.
I think that I could get Robert De Niro to talk.
This is exactly what I thought. Yeah. My ego was bursting. I said to my producer, "You bring me De Niro, I'll show you where all these other fools."
I've said that to Gary.
Right?
Yeah.
Right, here's what happens. So I got Robert De Niro. Now, to slightly complicate things again, I was in Los Angeles, he was in New York, and there was a 1 second delay.
That's horrible.
This is not good when the guy's already, going to be difficult. Robert sits down, and I say, "Hey, Robert, how are you?" And we thought it'd be funny to throw a scene at the top of him from the Fockers movie, which shows, I think, him wearing a pair of fake breasts. Now, you might think a disrespectful start to an interview with a great movie star, but it was his movie, and he was proud of it.
Fun, yeah.
played it, and he just looked at this completely grim face. I mean, not a flicker, not a movement.
Do you think it's like the Michael Jackson thing? Michael Jackson was like, he would utter 2 words if you asked him a question. As soon as he got into trouble legally, and he had to appeal to the public, suddenly he knew how to talk.
Robert De Niro can be, I know from people who've had dinner parties with him, he can be unbelievably entertaining, tell great stories, be everything you want him to be. I don't think he likes the whole dynamic of interviews. I don't think he particularly likes journalists. I don't think he particularly likes bothering, flogging movies. He's Robert De Niro. He's Raging Bull. He doesn't need to.
Yeah, but a human being to another human being can be nice. You know what I mean? Like you could say, hey, this guy Piers Morgan's got a show. I've agreed to go on it. It's sort of an agreement to be a little bit charming.
You would think so. But he wasn't like he was rude. But here's what he was doing. I would say I was getting desperate. I mean, my producer was laughing in my ear, thinking, "You are so going down here. This is fantastic."
And did you have him booked for the whole hour?
We had him booked for like 40 minutes.
Oh, Christ!
And after 10, I'm realizing I'm getting absolutely nothing out of this. The lemon has been so squeezed already. It's over. So I then said, "Robert, let me ask you. You're one of the world's great movie stars. Who do you think is the best movie actor right now out there?"
Right.
Well, I don't think I'm the guy to ask. I was like, Robert, you're Robert De Niro.
Oh.
Who else could I possibly ask about being a great movie star? It was like wrestling blood from the proverbial stone.
Well, do you get the flop sweats on that stuff?
Yes.
I mean, you just know it. And
yes.
And you're live, and you're in front of a television audience, which is even worse.
It was just one of those things when, at the end of it, I said, well, thank you so much, Mr. De Niro. I said, I really enjoyed it. And he chuckled wryly and said, really? I said,
no.
Well,
no, I didn't.
You know what? It's been a challenge.
Why do you think that's a sadist in him? He wants to torture these journalists?
I think a little bit, because I think if he wanted to give more, he could.
Do you ever want to say to him in the middle of the interview, why did you agree to come on my show? Like you obviously don't want to answer a question.
I think that I actually felt a certain respect for the fact he was Robert De Niro. But the contrast between him, say, and someone like Morgan Freeman, who came in for an hour, could not have been more brilliant. He was outrageous about politics and the Tea Party. He was brilliant on storytelling. He talked about the joy of movie acting, what it means to be an actor, which actors he loves. Everything about that hour, as it was with Jeff Bridges and other people, was just magical television. You just can't really guess. You know, someone said to me, when I didn't have any pre-knowledge, De Niro, Morgan Freeman, I don't know. You just it's potluck.
Yeah, it is. And it's a lot of pressure to be live and sort of rely on your guests to at least do 50% of the work.
Yeah.
And when they don't, I don't know. It's just such a weird thing, that whole De Niro thing.
But see, when they do, like at the moment, you mentioned Bill Clinton.
Right.
It was the second time I'd interviewed him, and I met him at a party the night before, the Clinton Global Initiative, which he puts on. And the deal was I was going to moderate a panel with his daughter Chelsea and some world leaders, and in return he'd give me 20 minutes, say.
Right.
In the end, we got nearly an hour with him. But at the party before, it was the day Bono had done that brilliant impression of Clinton. So I said to Bill Clinton, do you do a Bono by any chance? And he didn't say yes or no, but he looked at me in a way that suggested, damn right, I do a Bono. So I was like, well, if you do, come prepared. So we had a big live audience. It was a big thing, big hall. In comes President Clinton, sits down, and I just said to Mr. President, I want to start with the one thing that everyone in New York is talking about in the UN General Assembly Week and CGI Week, and it's this. And I had video cameras all around the video screens like this, all pumping Bono doing his My Bill Clinton impression. Place falls apart. I'm realizing this could go horribly wrong. He may not have a Bono impression, but I go for it anyway because I haven't had the answer. I said, Mr. President, I've got to ask you, do you do a Bono? And there was this wonderful moment, and these are the moments I live for with interviews, where Bill Clinton, one of the great politicians of modern history, reached slowly into his pocket and pulled out a pair of large, dark shades and put them on. I thought, he's going to go for Bono. Now, it turned out he can't do Bono.
It was awful.
It was a pretty awful impression, but it brought the house down, and you had this whole riff about how my voice is so hoarse, I can only deal with three-letter names like One and Red, and even the band's called U2. You know, everyone loved it.
So you feel good because you facilitated that moment?
Well, not only facilitated it, but also you know that clip, because of the age we now live in, is going to flick.
It's going to live on forever.
10 seconds, it goes around the world, and then it stays there.
You were invited to a party. This is all. You have a new book. That's
do.
why you're here. That's why I should mention that.
Shooting Straight, Guns, Gays, God, and George Clooney.
Yeah, right. And it's in stores
What's
now.
What's that name again?
It's Shooting Straight, Guns, Gays, God, and George Clooney in stores now. And you can go to PiersMorganBook.com and Of course, Piers' show is on 9 o'clock at CNN. You mentioned the book. You'll do anything for a guest. You're at Barbara Walters. Barbara Walters had some sort of party, right? And you she thought it was incredibly rude. Who was the person you went up to at Barbara?
It was in the middle of the Egypt uprisings, and I was a bit late, so she prepared this private dinner party. When I get
was it
there,
a private dinner party for you?
Yes, it was in my
your
honor.
honor.
It was like a welcome to CNN and New York, and I didn't think who would be there, and I rang and said I'm running late because of the Egypt uprising. I got there at 10 o'clock to find Michael Bloomberg, Nora Ephron, Woody Allen and Sun Yi.
Wow.
It was like an amazing collection of the most high-powered New York socialites imaginable. And there's only about 15 of them.
Yeah, and you're like, hey, I can book my whole show here.
Well, I'm thinking this is a target-rich environment. You know, I don't look at a room like that like normal people. I look at it and think, boom. So I just...
See, that's where I'm different than you. If I get invited somewhere and I see famous people, I mean, yes, I would like to have them on my show. Like Jimmy Kimmel's wedding, I met Jennifer Aniston. I would love to have Jennifer Aniston come on the show. But I would never go up to them at his wedding or anywhere. I will never ask someone to be on my show.
Well, I am
so maybe Piers can tell you how it's done.
Yeah, how? So what? Yeah,
well, you just have to
Piers had a terrible situation with that.
Well, you have to be utterly shameless. So I marched up to Woody Allen, who I'd never met, and I just said, Mr. Allen, I thought, respect for a legend. I said, Piers Morgan, a new show at CNN, obviously, that's why we're all here. I just wondered, would it be inappropriate for me to use this opportunity of meeting you to ask if you come and do one of the first television interviews you've done in 50 years? And there was this dreadful silence.
Now, is everyone listening to you ask? Or
The room literally fell completely silent.
This is during dinner.
And this is just after, like drinks after, like coffee. And everyone's staring at me. Barbara has literally frozen. And she suddenly goes, yes, it would be inappropriate! At which point it was brilliant, because everybody else then began laughing at the sheer ludicrousness of Barbara Walters, the most shameless booker in the history of television, you saying it was inappropriate of me to try and book somebody. Anyway,
I picture Barbara tasering you, like taking one of the taser things and just shooting you with it and knocking you down on the floor. You know what it is too, because Woody Allen then is put on the spot. He can't say no in a weird way, but he doesn't want to say yes, and he's like hamana hamana hamana.
Yeah.
And you're putting it out there because nobody ever does that.
I never got near Woody Allen, and Barbara Walters never got near Woody. He doesn't do television interviews, but I must say the sheer discomfort of that moment was quite amusing.
It is a shame that Woody Allen wouldn't do a television interview, even if you agreed to just stick to his movies and not get into his wretched personal life. If you just stuck to the movies to hear that guy talk is awesome.
Well, the other great moment I had, which was, you would love this. So I'm at the Knicks, where I actually met you at another game about a week before. I go to the Knicks, and I'm with my publicist, Megan, who I know, whose charms you have often pointed out.
Yeah.
And...
yeah, I still don't know how you're not banging her. Like, he's walking around with this really super hot
Unfortunately, she married my digital producer, which brought an end to that longing, but there we are.
Right.
So here we are, we're at the Knicks game. And Bill O'Reilly is at the other corner of the VIP suite where I saw you, with this commissaire with a big jacket and medals and so on.
He's unusually tall, right? Aren't you?
He's like gigantic.
Yeah.
I mean, even by your standards, he's gigantic.
It's weird, right?
He should be playing basketball. Am I watching it? He's
when
like
you see him on TV, you kind of go...
you get no sense of height, right?
Yeah, right.
And he's quite physically powerful as well. So there he is, towering over like this sort of feudal colossus. And I said to Megan, I'm going to go and introduce myself and try and get him to come on the show. And she said, well, don't be ridiculous. He's not going to do that. He's Bill O'Reilly. He's not going to do it. So you may not even know who you are. I said, of course he's going to know who I am. There's billboards in Times Square. The show's got this. But, so I march over. I said, Bill, Piers Morgan. Nothing. That's not a flick. I said, Piers Morgan, I've just joined CNN. You may have seen the promos. Nothing.
That doesn't say hello, nothing.
Just,
Wow.
So I said, I used to work for Rupert Murdoch. So we have something in common. I said, well, is there any, would you possibly do the show? No, I don't think so, no. So anyway, this is now really uncomfortable and I think quite rude. Yeah. So I walk off and I go back to Megan, who's laughing, and she said, he blew you out, right? I said, what a dick. And she went, he's not a dick, he doesn't know who you are. He's just Bill O'Reilly. So I said, well, okay. Anyway, we let it go. I was seething. And then about 10 minutes later, she says, he's walking over to you. Bill O'Reilly's walking over to you. With his two young girls, who were about 14, one of whom was his daughter and one was her friend. I'd seen that. And he says, Mr. Morgan, he's slightly embarrassed, he's slightly red in the cheeks. And he said, Mr. Morgan, I wonder if you could help me with something. My daughter is a big fan of America's Got Talent.
You gotta fucking be kidding me. You have got to be kidding me.
This gets better. Is there any possibility of a photo? So I said,
no.
I said, of course, Mr. O'Reilly. Nothing would give me greater pleasure. So the girls come either side of me, and I'm doing my normal cheesy, you know, me the big celebrity picture.
Yeah.
I said, who should we get to take the picture? Maybe you'd like to, Bill. Bill is handed the camera. Now he's like simmering with volcanic lava.
This is so great because when you have your kids, like I would never ask them for an interview.
Wait.
Yeah, there's
the denouement, which you will love. As he goes to take the picture, the old commissaire in the blazer with the badges, whose job it is to protect the celebrities, suddenly flies in between us, arms up like Kevin Costner on The Bodyguard, and he says, no, we cannot have Mr. Morgan's privacy invaded in this way. I said, please, sir, I really appreciate your concern, but I'm very happy for Mr. O'Reilly to have this photograph.
You know, I'm always like I'll tell you something. I must be old school. I get really uncomfortable being a dick to anyone. I mean, unless somebody did something really horrible.
I agree with you.
You know what I mean? I mean, what was Bill O'Reilly's point? Like, oh, you're working for the competition?
I saw him again the other day. He knows I've dined out on this story, and it's in full glorious detail on the book. He knows this. So I saw him at some party the other night, and I just said, hey, Bill. And he just went, hi, Piers, and just walked off. And I thought, it's wonderful. He thinks he's like Emperor Nero.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what, buddy?
But what is that?
Well, I've moved from at least blank to Piers. I mean, it's a movement. There is movement.
But is he not liking you because you work for CNN?
No, I think he is a dick.
He's just a dick.
He's Bill O'Reilly.
Just really
But by the way,
generally
let's put it in perspective.
He is kind of a dick because, like, I walked up to one time. I've seen him a lot of places. He claims he's a man of the people, but he's always at every big highfalutin event. And I saw him in the Hamptons at some rich guy's house and stuff that he never goes to. But you know, I'm amused by Bill. I watch his show too, and I remember he just walks up to me and he goes, I want to help your career out. I'm going to let you come on every Wednesday, and I'm going to give you this break. And I went, are you fucking kidding me? You really think I need your help? But he was dead serious.
Oh, completely serious. But I have to say, on the other side, I like watching his show.
Right.
All the reasons that he is quite rude and dickish and bombastic and
it
arrogant.
Works in that setting.
It is fantastic television if you're into that kind of thing. My dad came over to America for the first time ever last year, and he stayed in L.A. with my mum, and they were having a great time. And every single night, 8 p.m., without fail, he sat and watched Bill O'Reilly after he watched it the first night. He said, who is this guy? I love him. And my dad's like this conservative guy in his 70s. He went, I wish we had someone like him back in England. So if Bill ever wants another job, I can get him a gig.
We might send him over to England.
That would be a win-win.
You try, in an ultimate balls move, you say in your book, you tried to get Rupert Murdoch.
Yeah.
To do your show.
Yeah.
The guy who owns Fox News.
Yeah.
And what was his response?
Well, it was like I worked for him before, and I've always had a lot of time for Rupert. I like him very much, and I just kept emailing him, and eventually he went, Piers. He emailed back, Dear Piers, I said, on a chance scale of 1 to 100, give me something. Give me some hope of a possibility of an interview, Mr. Murdoch. And he said, Piers, on a scale of 1 to 100, your chances are less than 0. But I wish you every success with your show.
But he likes you, right?
He does, but he just didn't.
You worked for him.
That's probably why he didn't trust me.
What was the fallout from? Do you address that in your book, all the fallout from you, with the Rupert Murdoch scandal?
Yeah, I do address it, because it was a bit like for me, it was like the Ghost of Christmas Past banging on the door. You know, I hadn't worked in Fleet Street, the British newspaper industry, for nearly 10 years.
They were trying to accuse you of being involved in this wiretapping.
Right, the phone hacking scandal and so on. Yeah. To which I have always said, I never hacked a phone, never told anybody to, never asked anyone to, never been involved in it.
So you were shocked by all of that?
Well, I wasn't shocked that I was dragged into it, because I edited 2 big tabloids in Britain for 10 years, and this covered that period. What is true to this day, which never gets reported, but not a single person that worked for me out of maybe 1,000 people over 10 years at the Mirror has actually been charged with any offence at the paper in my tenure. So I've always felt the paper behaved within the law. But clearly other papers were up to some stuff, and it was unacceptable.
But don't you think Rupert Murdoch owed you something of an interview?
Well, it's funny. So we cut forward to the Oscars red carpet last year, and he's still with Wendy, his wife then.
Right.
And as they walk down, I'm doing the live red carpet for CNN, and I see Wendy, and I said, Wendy, can you get Rupert? So she taps him on the shoulder, he looks over, laughs, and then he comes over. So my chances of less than 0 have just propelled to, this is going to happen. And I did a very funny interview with him, 2-way on the red carpet. And eventually I said, but Mr. Murdoch, I can't let you go without asking you this. I said, how do you feel about the fact that CNN's now on the rampage ratings-wise, and clearly Fox is in big trouble? And he just looked at me, burst out laughing, and went, I'm relatively comfortable, thank you, Piers. But I put a lot of time for him. You know, he's a very polarizing figure, but he was very, very good to me. He took me when...
Did you spend personal time with him?
A lot of personal time with him. And
did you go on the yachts and the whole thing?
Well, when I got the job was an amazing story. You know, when I was 28 years old, I was editing the equivalent of page 6 on The Sun, the bizarre gossip column, and had very little experience other than that. I get a phone call, and it's Rupert Murdoch wants to see you in Miami. This is in 1994. And I get flown that day, first class to Miami, and I'm told to meet him in the lobby of the hotel.
And are you like a kid at that point? How old are you?
I'm 28 years old.
28 years old.
Yeah.
And now one of the richest, most powerful newspaper guys in the world.
At the top of his game has called for me. It's like Don Corleone saying to The Undertaker, it's time.
And do you think it's going to be a good thing, or are you getting fired? Well, he wouldn't bring you all the way there
I was just thinking, why would he fly me out there just to say you're fired? I'm 28,
no way.
I'm a pop editor.
Right.
So I get there, and he says, okay, we're going to go to the beach. I said, okay. So we literally, the limo drives to the beach. We get out. He takes his shoes and socks off. So I follow.
Is he wearing a suit?
He's wearing, no, he's wearing like a jacket and chinos. Yeah. And we then walk for 3 hours up and down Miami Beach together. And what's fantastic, I remember it, because I used to do a bit of TV at the time and promote myself in the column, and it was always me and my mate, some celebrity who'd never heard of me, that I'd rustled up to at a party or something. I was stopped a couple of times on the walk by British tourists saying, all right, Piers, mate. Hello, mate. Who's your buddy? I was like, if only you had any idea who this guy is.
This is the guy who controls your life.
This is the most powerful man in the world, arguably. And it was a brilliant masterclass. So that's why I've always said there's another side to Rupert. He loves newspapers. He loves news. He loves television and movies now. But his first love was newspapers. It was a masterclass. It was like...
What do you mean? He brought you there to tell you how to do your job?
How to be a newspaper editor without telling me what I was going to be getting.
And then he made you the newspaper editor.
Well, then he didn't say anything else. So we discussed newspapers, we discussed world events, we discussed politics, we discussed show business, all sorts of stuff. And at the end of it, we got back in the car and we went back, and he didn't say anything else.
What do you think he wanted to check out? If you were just a good dude?
I just thought even that seemed ridiculous. Why would he fly someone like me to do it? I knew something was going on. Anyway, we went to a party that night for Fox affiliates. He just bought the NFL for Fox. And Dave Hill was there. Do you know Dave Hill?
No.
One of the great unsung geniuses of world television. He came from Australia, rough, brash, Aussie larrikin type. He went and created Sky Sports in Britain, which was groundbreaking sports television. He then came and created Fox Sports here, again, at this time, groundbreaking television. One of the geniuses, and a lovely guy. So I go to this party that night, and I'm standing next to Dave Hill. And Rupert Murdoch comes along and says, Dave, meet my friend Piers from London. He's the new editor of the News of the World.
Oh, wow. Just like that he breaks...
That's how I found out.
Wow.
Now, the new editor of the News of the World meant I'd just been made editor at the age of 28 of the biggest-selling newspaper in the world, 5 million copies every Sunday.
28 years old.
The oldest newspaper in Britain, 150-odd years old, a piece of absolute British life. And I went home that night and I thought, wow, okay, well, my life, whatever happens, is never going to be the same again.
Wow.
And it wasn't.
That's how he makes the announcement, huh?
That's how he told me.
Yeah, that's pretty dramatic.
Yeah, so I always, it's like with Simon Cowell taking me to America for America's Got Talent. I owe these guys, and I'm sort of the old school loyalty when it comes to that. So when people want to berate Rupert and say he's this, that, and the other, I saw so much else to him, which told me that he was a great guy, loyal guy, smart guy, a magnificent visionary. Now, he's not perfect. He doesn't claim to be. He's not an angel.
Yeah, I think a lot of people in show business get pissed off at him because he's probably also the guy who sits there and sticks the paparazzi on them and does all this kind of stuff.
But he's also the guy that pays them $30 million a movie. So
you got to take the good with the bad.
You got to have the good with the bad.
Right. So with all the controversy now, CNN, you know, every day in the paper you'll read you're being replaced either by Katie Couric or some new guy now.
To be fair, that has been going on since I started.
Is that getting to you at all?
No, because I think that...
but it's humiliating, right? I mean, it's like, well, what do you mean? And when you walk in the building, everyone looks at you and goes, when you walk into CNN, they're like, oh, there's Piers, dead man walking. You know, he's walking in the building.
Yeah, but for a dead man, I walk with such pride and magnificence.
You don't let shit bother you.
I couldn't give a damn, no. I mean,
is that really true?
Look, when you
have a huge ego. I know that. And a healthy ego.
Here's the thing, Hal.
Yeah.
From that moment, I was made editor of the News of the World at 28. I have had people, the moment I walked into the News of the World newsroom, I was the youngest person of the entire staff. I looked at all these faces and I thought, They want me to fall flat on my face.
That's right.
I had exactly the same feeling when I got the CNN job, replacing the great Larry King, who's this upstart Brit from America's Got Talent, Celebrity Apprentice. I talk about all this in the book. I've always been someone that backs myself. I don't care what other people say about me. I don't care about...
See, but I think the opposite. I think...
You think I do care?
I think you really do care, because I know on Twitter, you'll get into wars with people, you'll fight with people, because I think you really...
No, but do you not think I'm just yanking their chain?
Yeah, but I also think you care. You know what? You have a lot of pride.
Well, I want to succeed. Don't get me wrong.
Right.
But do I care what people write or say about me? Not particularly.
You don't. As long as they're sort of involved with it.
There was a Vanity Fair profile of me recently, not particularly flattering, but
Right.
I chuckled as I read it. And
did you really?
Well, because most of my profiles are so awful that actually, by comparison, it wasn't bad. So I was actually able to enjoy some of it.
Yeah.
And in the middle of it, they did interview some British editor who said, the great thing about Piers is that we all get together, and about every 3 months we run a story we hope will get him fired from CNN.
People are really rooting against you.
Yeah, which I quite like. It's like the British mentality is when, you quite like that. It gets me up in the morning. It galvanizes me. And the reality about CNN, I've been on air 3 years, 3 years longer than most people thought I'd survive.
But the higher the ratings and the bigger the success, all of a sudden then all the suits and everything don't tell you what to do.
Sure.
Suddenly you have ultimate freedom.
Yeah.
With that comes, like, I remember in radio, I got so hassled, and then when you become number one, they still hassle you. And then at some point, I got such a big audience that then I said, hey, fuck you, I'm doing things my way.
Yeah.
And that's the thing you really want.
No,
right?
I look at what you have, and I see a guy who's created his own empire you're completely in charge of.
Right.
No one can really fire you. It doesn't matter. So it really doesn't matter to you. I work for a company. I have a boss, Jeff Zucker, who used to be my boss at NBC, who I happen to like very much and respect very much. He can fire me when he wants.
Have you had meetings with Jeff Zucker? Have you sat down and said, listen, this is...
Only very recently when he told me he was picking up my option for the 4th year. So I'm under contract until till September.
So if he's picking up the option for the 4th year, how do all these rumors get started that you're being
Well, it's what I mean.
out?
It's what I mean. The rumors start because some mad blogger who, on a blog site I'd never heard of, blogs Morgan facing Axe, Katie Couric coming in, or whoever it may be, whoever the name that is that week. And the reality is, I had literally the month before had my 4th year option picked up by the guy who's supposed to be about to
But don't
fire
you
me.
want to go somewhere and scream it out? Hey, wait a second! I'm not going anywhere. In fact, these guys just gave me a vote of confidence.
No, there's a brilliant lesson I once got taught by a guy called Michael Parkinson. Do you remember Parky? The Parky was a great British talk show legend for 30 years.
I don't know about this guy.
He was great. He was a Yorkshireman. And he was also a cricket player. And when he was a cricket player, he was quite good. He never quite made top grade, but he wasn't bad. And he said his strategy when he was playing cricket every weekend, but also the sports editor of the local evening newspaper, the Yorkshire Evening Post, his strategy was quite straightforward. Whether he got 0 runs or whether he got 100 runs, come Monday morning, the back page headline of his paper would have the name Parkinson in it. So it would be another triumph for Parky, or Parky flops again. But he said what was clear by the end of my tenure as sports editor was the only person that mattered to the people of Barnsley in Yorkshire was Michael Parkinson.
Well, that's a very healthy attitude.
But don't you think it's the right one? I mean, when you read
it's
stuff,
so right.
when you read stuff about you, Howard, and I read vicious stuff about you and fantastic stuff about you, I think I believe about 10% of it. It doesn't matter. What is
matters to me?
But as a
You
fact,
said some of it, Peter.
Of course, but
Here's 90%. As Robin points out, you attacking me.
But as a fan of yours, I love the fact that I don't think it really does bother you. It probably annoys you a little bit, whatever.
Oh, I get bothered by everything.
Yeah, but in the scheme of things, I don't think it dictates the way you lead your life or anything else.
It doesn't.
It's like having a little ant on a buzzard's
It's
backside.
like a mosquito
it doesn't
going
matter.
around.
It's
It's funny to me. Some people try to get under my skin, and I go, "You're like a mosquito to me." It's like I just find you like an annoying itch. But I have to have the time that you've been at CNN, the 3 years. Have they stopped you from doing certain things?
No,
Have they ever said to you, "Don't put this person on"? They don't dictate.
No, and in fact, if you look at the incredibly polarizing nature of the guns campaigning that I've done on the show, which has been pretty relentless. And
is that why Michael Moore wrote the forward to your book?
Yeah, it was.
Because he believes in you as a gun, an anti-gun advocate.
Yeah, and he also made the point that it's sort of weird that one of the loudest voices for gun safety, as I call it in America, is someone who's not even American.
Right.
But I tell the story in the book, and I think it's quite a powerful analogy that
the argument you always hear in America about guns is the only way to deal with gun crime is for more people to have guns. You've heard this. The NRA will come out after Sandy Hook or Aurora and say, if only everyone in the movie theater had a gun, at the school, if all the teachers had been
could have killed a guy.
And, of course, the only thing that does is make sure they sell more guns.
Right.
And the gun manufacturers financially back the NRA, and so this vicious cycle goes on. When I was on the Daily Mirror, which was the paper I went to when I left Murdoch, and it was a rival paper to his, so I was there for 10 years. In the mid-90s, there was a horrific shooting in Dunblane in Scotland. 16 kids aged 5 were blown to pieces by a madman.
Right.
Now, what was fascinating compared to what happened here after Sandy Hook is that it was never political. Left and right came together. The public came together. The media came together. I campaigned very strongly
So we got to
on the
do
paper.
something.
And it was never about, well, if you're pro-gun, you're a conservative. If you're anti-gun, you're a liberal. None of that. It was like 16 kids get murdered by guns in a school. You've got to do something in society to stop this happening again. So we did. We banned all assault weapons and we banned all handguns. And here's what happened. Since then, Britain has had a steady average of 35 gun murders a year. America has 11 to 12,000.
Right.
America also has 18,000 gun suicides a year. 70,000 more Americans get hit by gunfire whose lives are saved by the brilliance of surgeons. Otherwise, the stats would be a lot worse.
And I don't think they've even had a mass shooting since that time.
We've had one mass shooting, but nothing, not even a single shooting of any kind at a school. And we don't arm the schools.
It's a pretty compelling argument.
Well, it's the same argument of how it happens in Australia, in Germany, in Japan, where basically in the 60s they just wiped guns out completely.
Well, the other argument is that only the criminals will have guns.
The criminals in Britain don't have guns.
Right.
Otherwise, there'd be more than 35 gun murders a year. They can't get them.
One of my favorite interviews you did was Alex Jones.
Right.
When you guys went at it. I love Alex when he comes on and you guys start going at it. I said to Alex Jones, he should have you on every night. Piers and you, the two of you, just going at it, locking horns.
It was fascinating, that encounter, because it really revealed this extraordinary mindset that he, like many people that follow that guy, and there are a lot of them, I think there are millions of Americans that genuinely believe the reason they need to have guns is that the British may come back and take them.
Are you coming back? You are here.
Well, I am here, but I always say, listen, let me just point something out to you. Whether it's the British coming back you're worried about or the threat of tyranny from your own government, let me explain one salient point that makes both of those eventualities an unlikely thing for you to deal with your AR-15. The United States military has 5